Good evening. Welcome, everybody. It's the Steel Toe Evening Show, and apparently I've been told this is a breaking news bulletin. We should just pack it in and say forget it tonight.
Why? What's going on?
Salty Dog says, dude, postpone this. We've got to postpone tonight's show.
Why?
Everyone is waiting to watch Shuli's Uncle Rico show after John sent a hitman after him.
What?
I shit you not. Now, let me just... a couple of things. I 100%... Look, I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. You know, I'm in the broadcast, podcast, streaming business, so I came from shock jockery, so I understand the need to get people excited. And I really like Shuli and what they're doing on that Uncle Rico show. It's like... I don't know. It's like it's almost on the level of who are these podcasts. They're doing it's basically become a hate John Melendez show.
Yes.
I think John Melendez is October's Brendan Schaub, because I noticed that any John stuff we do is doing way better than the John stuff we used to do.
He's hot right now.
The DSP stuff is dead. I think we might not post anymore. I mean, we'll still talk about the guy because last night was very entertaining, but I don't think he's a standalone clip guy. I don't think he can carry a clip.
Did you post that thing we did last night?
Yeah.
How did it do?
It's not doing great.
Oh.
It's in the bottom half of the last 10 videos we've put out there. But the big ones, Brendan, Stuttering John, and Husey are the top three.
Those that are some good ones.
So I think DSP might not be a clip guy anymore, but John Melendez, Stuttering John, is a view magnet when it comes to clips. Now, Brendan still hangs in there, I think, as the king. Mm-hmm. That's why I try to sparingly use Brendan, because I want to keep him fresh. You know, if you want to deep dive into the Brendan universe, the guys from Revenge of the Sis have it all covered. In fact, they're more fascinated with big gay lion Mark Harley at this point than they are Brendan Schaub.
Guy's a weirdo. We've
got a Brendan clip tonight where he actually goes after Joe Rogan and Dana White. Now, we know he hates Dana White, but he criticized Joe Rogan for something he said, which I kind of give Brendan credit for having a set of balls, but also not smart to bite the hand of the guy that made you.
Maybe he's been picking up on the fact that Joe doesn't really back him on everything.
Right.
And he's had it.
Yeah. Also, D. Gulag brings up Ethan Ralph. I've got to find a place to go to find quality Ethan Ralph stuff. I know Sunrise Productions is really good. COG is really good. I got to start watching their stuff a little more, because I would like to replace the DSP stuff with some Ethan Ralph stuff, because he's always fun. But now Salty Dog is telling us to postpone our show tonight, saying everyone is waiting to watch Shuli's Uncle Rico show after John sent a hitman after you. I shit you not. I can't 100. I can 99.9% guarantee you that Stuttering John Melendez did not send a hitman to Shuli's house or send a hitman after Shuli. That is a behind bars for decades kind of felony.
I can't see him being that ambitious anyways.
Yeah, trust me, there is no hitman. If John hasn't tried to have Carl killed, he hasn't tried to have anybody killed, or Anthony Cumia killed. There's bigger names on Stuttering John's list. So I like what they're doing over there at the Uncle Rico show. I don't think there's a hitman. But I don't begrudge anyone a saucy headline to splash for views.
Oh, of course not.
I think that's the thing to do. Hey, that's the way the business works now. If you're going to be in it, you got to make a splashy headline. Like the title of tonight's show. Stuttering John is back to ripping on Anthony Cumia and Gavin. We're going to play that. It's going to be later in the show. We're going to play it. We're going to talk about it. And it's going to bring people to the show. That's not going to be the whole 2 hours. That would be boring, repetitive, and ridiculous. It's going to be a solid 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then Gavin was on Glenn Beck's show admitting that his whole raid thing was a hoax. I'm going to give Gavin credit twice tonight. Once in the Stuttering John clip and once in the Glenn Beck interview. There was an honesty about that and kind of an acknowledging that it didn't work that I wish more people could do on the internet.
Okay, that's true, but it seems like it's been a while too.
Right, but I think if you're Gavin, or if you're the people who don't like Gavin, you got to give him credit for admitting it if you ever want anyone else to do that in the future. Too many times these people on the internet will hear someone take an L and they'll go, "Yaha, fuck him." Why would anybody else do that then? You keep telling people you want them to take the L, take the L, take the L. What you're really saying is you want them to humiliate themselves. You want to watch them be humiliated. Yes. Just be honest and say that. Mm-hmm. But if you're telling people take the L, take the L, take the L, and then a guy takes the L, and then you still shit on him, well, I kind of look at the people who shit on him as the people who are full of shit and liars in that sense. So we got Gavin on Glenn Beck, which, by the way, I'm starting to dig Glenn Beck as an interviewer.
I thought we liked him already.
I did like Glenn Beck, but I wasn't really into his thing, like the conservative talk show politics stuff. But Glenn Beck's like coming back around again.
He's not bad.
Curly Adam with a $10 super chat to kick things off tonight. Thank you, Curly Adam. He says, don't postpone. Hey, we're only 5 minutes in. We got plenty of show to do tonight. Don't you worry. Oh, and the evening show last night, they kicked in a bunch for you guys and got you $30 ahead. So $265 is the goal for tonight. Thank you, Curly Adam, for getting us started. There's the PayPal link in the chat. Super chats and memberships count for this, a filthy, can-rattling, beggar, listener-supported show. What a bunch of filthy goddamn scumbags. Thank you, guys, very much for your support. Super chats count, memberships count. Let's go into the chat and see what everybody's got to say. John can't send flowers on his own, says Standalone Cakecorn. Belusier says, when are you having Shuli Agar on? He's a more recent Howard Stern employee. I would love to listen to you interview Shuli and ask if Howard's an asshole. I've got to send Shuli another message, get back to Shuli, and to be honest, I think we'll get him on.
You two seem friendly.
Yeah, sooner rather than later. We follow each other on Twitter. So nice. The Reverend Bob Levy followed me on Twitter. I'm so famous now. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. So we've got a very busy show tonight. It should be very, very good. So let's get busy in the chat. Let's dive into some things. Let's knock out our goal tonight. And let's have some fun. We're going to start with the Fish guys.
Are they back? What happened?
They're felony fucked.
Good.
Like, these guys aren't just like returning your winnings or we're going to get sued by these fish tournament people. These guys might go to prison.
What are they calling it?
Well, I think there's
fraud,
felony theft is being bandied about. Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon are their names. And we talked about them yesterday on the morning show and the evening show. This is like one of those oddly fascinating stories where fishing is never in the public eye. Nobody ever gives a shit about competitive fishing. And now fishing is in the public eye, and it's kind of cool to see like people give a shit about fishing, even if it's just because these guys are scumbags. But it's an interesting piece.
It's an expensive one for sure.
These guys, now I guess we're still saying allegedly, even though they got caught. They allegedly stuffed their winning catch with weights and fish fillets, and it's kind of brutal how you do it. They just jammed it down the fish's mouth.
That's the only way you can do it and hide it.
The Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office in Ohio tells TMZ, quote, my staff will be meeting with officers from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources today regarding the matter. I take all crimes seriously, including attempted felony theft at a fishing tournament.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, boats, all that shit.
They're throwing around felony theft. Prosecutor Michael O'Malley added these individuals will be held accountable. So it looks like these guys could be facing jail time.
Good.
They seemingly won Friday's competition, but then people were suspicious because remember, this isn't the first time they've been accused of this.
No.
So the fish was cut open. That's when everyone saw the fish were stuffed with lead weights and fish fillets, nearly doubling the fish's actual weight. And that's the other problem is these two got greedy. They didn't make the fish 1 pound bigger or 1.5 pounds bigger. They went like 4 pounds bigger.
I'd like to hear them explain like why their fish had fish fillets in there. Like it's one thing if you said, oh, well, they clearly just ate somebody's, weights or something off the bottom. Well, you can't just eat a perfectly cut fish fillet.
Cut fish fillets.
That doesn't happen.
The guys had a history of winning these competitions, and their competitors were pissed and were not happy. Runyon was asked on camera if he had anything to say for himself. He was mum. Officials say they will be persona non grata at these tournaments for the foreseeable future. And that's like best case scenario for these two.
I'm a little surprised they didn't say they're like banned for good.
Well, best case scenario for the two of them is, they're banned for good. They can't go to these tournaments.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, not even worst case, possibly like most likely scenario, these guys are facing felony charges.
decades in prison, would you say?
No. Yeah, not for
decades?
felony theft. I would think if these guys go to prison, it'll be like an 18-month thing. You know, something like that. I mean, that cop who shot...
That'll be enough.
That lady cop who shot that kid in Minnesota only got, what, like a year and a half?
Kim Potter.
Yeah, Kim Potter.
Because they could tell she was remorseful.
God, when you're a woman, you can play that angle so nice. Derek Chauvin, meanwhile, fucking life in prison 8 times over.
In fairness, he didn't seem very remorseful.
It's true. I'd do it again, god damn it.
Do it again.
I told you these people can't be controlled.
I'd put on weight so it hurt worse.
That's right. I'd have ankle weights on and fucking iron knee pads. I'd get after it. I'd snap that. I'd snap that neck. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Derek, that is not how we talk.
I'd get double knee replacements so they were heavier.
They stuffed fish. I'd stuff my knees with weights and I'd fuck that guy up.
Graham died alone.
Oh, man. Doesn't that kind of sound like a Will Forte character in Saturday Night Live? Hold on a second.
Graham died alone.
Maybe.
There's a little Will Forte in there.
Did I miss something? What's that from?
That's from a Michigan governor's ad that we talked about today, where a bunch of bikers were shit-talking Gretchen Whitmer, but they just were so bad at it. And this guy looked into the camera and went, Graham died alone.
Kind of sounds like Jordan Peterson.
Graham died alone.
It's a Will Forte. Well, I'm hearing Will Forte 100%.
I'm only hearing Peterson.
When they say fish fillet, I keep thinking fillet of fish, says Taster. That would be funny if they were stuffing them full of fillet of fish.
Yeah, and the whole bun and everything.
The bun and everything. And it's like, God, how did you get their jaws open that big? That's impressive.
I unhinged them.
Yeah. Thank you very much to AKA Wheels for becoming a member. Very cool, buddy. 260 away from our goal tonight. Remember, when we hit the halfway point in about 50 minutes, 5-0, if we're under 200, we're usually in good shape. If you want to become a VIP, that's always an option. Membership is a great way to support the show. Also, subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button.
Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and click the bell to get notifications.
So I would say probably...
They're fucked.
Maybe a year. I mean, if it sounds like the state is pretty interested in going after them.
They should be.
And
these
it's
tournaments are expensive.
Well, and you got to think these attorneys too. A lot of them want to have careers in politics, and they want to be attorney general and shit like that. So this is a good high-profile case to make a little profile.
Not only that, but I can see like fishing has a lot of sponsors to it too. So if there were any sponsors involved with these people,
oh, forget their money, forget their careers. I mean, at this point, these two are fighting for their freedom. I mean, fishing is out of the question.
Yes.
They can maybe move to, some foreign country and maybe where nobody's ever heard of them, and they can try their gimmicks there. But here, they can fish for win prizes that include the currency called ringgit.
Ringgit?
Yeah, they can. That's like Indonesia. If I got that right, I'm a fucking creep. What country uses ringgit? Malaysia. Oh, I was fucking close, man. Holy shit, was I right there knocking on the door. Malaysia, Indonesia. You know what I say? They all look alike to me.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
That was racist. That's disgusting.
A little bit.
I don't want to talk like that.
I was racist today.
Were you really? What'd you do?
I sent you a picture.
What I remind everyone. Don't do interpersonal shit. Share it with the audience.
I happened to be at a store looking for something specific, and there was an end cap with dog costumes, and our dog is Chihuahua.
Yeah.
So he's Mexican.
Sure.
And I saw a little sombrero and poncho, and I almost bought it for him.
That wouldn't be racist. That's honoring his heritage.
It's not too on the nose.
If you would have painted his face black and had him go, and the sun shines bright in my old Kentucky home, that would have been racist.
You like doing that too much.
I enjoy it a lot. I even played that clip today. Thank you to Zen Rhino for becoming a member for 3 months. That's a very helpful guy right there.
Thank you.
255 away from our goal. There's the links and whatnot in the chat if you'd like to chip in. So, before we get to Stuttering John, before we get to Brendan Schaub, before we get to all that stuff, there is news all over the place tonight. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen are getting a divorce. It is over. They're getting divorce lawyers. They've been looking for weeks, and their marriage is seemingly over. Now, I didn't do this for tomorrow morning's show for a reason. It would have been two dudes piling on about what a selfish bitch this Gisele Bündchen is. So I wanted to make sure that there was a woman here.
Okay.
So while I was piling on the woman, at least I could say I brought a token in here so I didn't run roughshod over the whole thing.
Well, you're fine, I think.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
This fucking broad. This fucking Quim.
Get it, girl.
This clam. All right? This sniz. She went, and by the way, they both got their own money. They'll both be fine. But this chick, seemingly everything is all good in Bradyville. Everything's happy in paradise, you know? And then he decides, I'm going to retire from football. Here's where this whole thing went wrong. Not him deciding to come back, not him even retiring from football. It was between the retiring from football and coming back. There was one thing that caused this whole thing to explode and spelled doom for the marriage right away. Would you or anyone in the chat like to guess what it is?
I'm going to guess.
There's something one of them did.
She did something. I'm going to guess she said to him something on the lines of, good, I didn't think you needed to play anymore. Or what, like nothing more to prove, like it was about
when
time.
When he announced his retirement,
she was shitty?
She went, yes!
Oh.
Thank God. Exactly what you said. She went, oh my God, I am so glad. I fucking hated that you were playing football. I thought you should have retired years ago. I didn't say anything after you won that Super Bowl with Tampa. I thought for sure you should be done. Last year you got taken out in the second round. I'm just so glad that this is over.
Not the thing to say, right?
And then, see, she didn't wait for him to finish. After that, he said, but I'm not really sure, and I kind of want to think about it for a couple of weeks.
Oh, God.
And then there was weirdness between the two of them. And then she was probably being shitty and like pushing the advantage and going, I'm glad now that you're home, we can do this, we can do that, we can, have these things. And you can come with me on my modeling trips and you can, we can be together. And he probably thought, oh, fuck.
I got to spend time with her and the kids. Fuck that.
Christ. And then people from Tampa were probably calling him like, bro, we can put together another Super Bowl run. We just need you in there. What do you say? They'll send you a blank check and you just fill your name in anyway.
Yeah.
So and by the way, totally just my bullshit theory. This is just me having fun on my show. But I think she celebrated the retirement news. That didn't sit with him well. He came back. There was weirdness. And I don't think this was one or the other wanting out. I think this was her going, well, then I'll leave, and him going, look, if you can't handle me playing football this year, then yeah, maybe it's best that you leave. And boom, there you go.
What a weird thing, though. Like, they seem, or at least he seems wholesome to me, like he is Tom Brady, and, he's just wholesome to everyone. So I don't see things going south for him that way. It's really weird to think
Imagine being a spouse and being upset that your significant other wants to still work at the age of 45.
Yeah, I think the only place, like, I could see maybe she's concerned about his health because he's been playing so many years.
He never gets touched.
I know that. She might still worry. I'm not married to him. I don't like the thought of you getting in boxing match after boxing match because we kind of need your brain here.
Well, I've been I've been watching a lot of Vladimir Klitschko, and my next opponent's shorter, so I'm going to fight taller. I'm going to be a little safer.
Okay.
This time around. Curly Adams says, a competitor at that level, it has to be nearly impossible to retire. Oh, thank you. I've been working very hard. You mean Tom Brady. I'm sorry. It's got to be like a drug to someone like him. Yeah, it's not as difficult to retire, I'm sure, if like you're broken down and you can't do it and your stats are going down. Like if Adam Thielen were to retire after this year, I don't think it would be hard for him to stay away. He's clearly slowing down.
Yes.
But for Tom Brady, like you're still in the top 3 in everything. I think he was the league leader in either yards or touchdowns last year.
To me, an athlete like him needs to have his body start breaking down before he calls it quits. I was a little surprised after he won the last Super Bowl that wasn't it for him because he's older, and that would have been a perfect time to call it quits.
I think he was getting shit-faced in Tampa and throwing that Lombardi trophy across to Gronk. And do you remember when fucking Gronk chucked the Lombardi trophy from one boat to another? Was it the Lombardi trophy?
Yeah.
Fucking chucked it.
It was the one.
From one boat to another across the water.
People were not happy about that.
Oh, boy. And Tom Brady said, how about you suck my dick? I can do whatever I want.
So to me, like, if you're going to choose to just retire without your body choosing for you, that would have been it. But I also agree with whoever said, like, he's still in great shape. It's going to be hard to quit.
And apparently he didn't want to be around his wife too much. So
she must not be all that great, huh? And now every woman in America is so excited because he's single.
Oh, yeah, and you've all got a shot, believe me. If you're in Florida right now, get your tits all pushed up, get your labiaplasty done, get that all snugged up and tight.
Giselle did not have big tits. I don't think you need big tits.
Maybe he wants big tits now.
Wow.
Maybe he wants a big, disgusting fucking Volusia County whore to sit on his face. Maybe Tom wants one of those big, disgusting Florida bitches.
A beached whale?
No, not fat. Come on, he's Tom Brady. He's got some class. Give him some credit.
More to love.
I'm saying one of these over-made up, bleach blonde beach whores with the big fake tits. That's what Tom wants now.
Like,
think about it. He had Bridget Moynihan and Giselle Bundchen. This guy hasn't had a decent pair of tits in his face since about 96.
Are you saying he needs like a blonde JWoww from Jersey Shore?
Yes, I want him to fuck one of the Jersey Shore bitches.
A total
not
shitbag.
Marry them, by the way.
I don't think he should get married again.
Right.
Probably not.
Just be done getting married. G. Goulet says, Tom Brady and Blair White. Could you fucking imagine? Fucking based. You fuck that boy. Hi Maine says, I can only imagine how much sniz is coming his way. God bless the return of the word sniz, huh? Chris Weaver says, CTE will make it more interesting. You'll just start spouting out stuff like Sean Avery. I'm so glad I got introduced to Sean Avery today.
Yeah, is that my future, though, is living with that?
You should be so lucky. That guy fucking rules. Little Lemmy says, no, Blair White is too busy pegging Joe Rogan. Fuck that. She's probably fucking Michael Malice.
Jeez.
I mean, look, they take a lot of pictures together. They seem to be very cozy. Michael Malice is of a very ambiguous sexuality.
Oh my God. Somehow Kim Kardashian makes the rounds over to Tom Brady now.
Did
you hear that she went out and said publicly that she wants like a down-to-earth kind of guy now?
Oh, so she's done with black dudes?
That's kind of the joke, though. That's what everybody chuckled about, was that, oh, you just want some Joe Schmo now?
Who was it? Was it, I was listening to Revenge of the Sis today. Was it Virgie or was it Mersh? I can't remember, but they said Pete Davidson was a perfect starter white boyfriend for her. Like an introduction into white dudes. Pete Davidson was the right one.
Why?
Just because he's kind of a little puke, you know?
Drug addict or ex-drug addict.
Yeah, just kind of a bum. M.A. Mahalik says, I got one to send you for your viewing pleasure. Oh, Sean Avery? I'm excited. Sage says it was KF. Sage said it was KF.
Wow.
Sage said it was Virgie. Okay. That was a really good line. I laughed hard at that today.
Pete Davidson was a hybrid.
Yeah, right?
Everyone did say he was very well endowed.
If she said that, if she said she's looking for someone more down to earth and her next boyfriend is a white guy... Boy, that's going to be saying without saying, isn't it?
I know.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how you get, like, the random dude she's been with, though. Like, Kanye to Pete Davidson. I don't get that.
Yeah, and now she broke up with him, so he's not Skeet anymore.
Now what's he going to do? That's the best he's ever going to have.
Drugs. Vicodin.
Kim K pushed him back into heroin.
He got his tattoo removed that was right here. My girl is a lawyer. It's gone. I read that on TMZ today because I'm super gay.
I did not know that.
Yep. $255 away from today's goal. $255 away. Let's see if we can knock that under 200 by 8 o'clock and be on our way to overtime today. We knocked out the goal Monday, knocked it out Monday night, knocked it out Tuesday morning. I say we're just about home free if we knock it out today, this evening for the evening show. So if you feel like chipping in, there's the PayPal link in the chat. Otherwise, there's always super chats and memberships as well. So then on to another one. This is a divorce that's actually in progress, and this one might be the ugliest divorce out there. I think any divorce between Giselle Bundchen and Tom Brady will be a little easier because they both have money. Maybe the kids think, they have 2 kids together?
I think 2.
2? So
they can each have one.
Right, yeah, we'll just split them up.
Favorite.
That'll be good for them. But this divorce is actually going on, and it was ugly, and it's getting nastier, and unless these allegations are true, I have felt really bad for Brad Pitt for a long time.
I thought they've been long divorced. What are you talking about?
They're still fighting over wineries. They're still fighting lawsuits and all kinds of shit. I mean, from what I've read, the sympathetic figure to me is Brad Pitt, but I'm also a massive misogynist. So it's going to take a lot for me to take Angelina Jolie's side.
And you're a big Brad Pitt mark.
I'm a big Brad Pitt mark. Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
You fucking mark!
Thank you to Rupert for $4.99. Says Brady could get Abby Shapiro's knockers in his face. Do you know how unfun she probably is?
She kind of looks
Honestly,
miserable.
You come from the Shapiro family, you can't be a good time.
Oh, then you got to have holiday dinners with him. Ew.
Yeah, no. So Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, this one to me kind of crossed a fucking line. Because before it was Angelina Jolie, like even when Russia invaded Ukraine, she went, oh yeah, well, at his winery one time, Brad had a Russian oligarch there and he was entertaining him and they were drinking together. It's like, yeah, he didn't do that while the tanks were rolling towards Kiev.
As the tanks roll in.
But like she rats on him and like she bitches about him. She's still suing him. Now she did something today that really is, to me, if it's not true and she's just using it to try and trash the guy, it's fucking disgusting. She says that Brad choked and hit frightened kids in front of an Angelina Jolie plane fight.
Oh,
correct me if I'm wrong, but she's saying that he hit their kids on a plane.
It's hard because of the punctuation they used. I'm not reading if he did it to her in front of frightened kids or if he did it to frightened kids.
Brad Pitt allegedly choked one of his children with Angelina Jolie and grabbed his then wife by the head on their now infamous 2016 private plane fight. A countersuit filed by the Maleficent actress, 47, states that the Fight Club star, 58, can't we find some newer movies? Well, I guess not for her, allegedly choked one of the children and struck another in the face and grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her. Now, if you're lying about this, you are the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Yeah, that's still their dad. And can you imagine if that was put out there? Now they've got to think about that.
If you're not, Brad Pitt's a bigger piece of shit than I thought he was. But like, you're putting this stuff out there, you better have checked with the kids first. Like, you better have asked your children.
How old are they by now?
They've got to be pushing high school age at this point.
So old enough to talk and stuff.
Are Brad Pitt's kids? 16, 14, 17, 21, 18. Okay, so they're all
well old enough.
They've got one that's 14 that this might be a little too sensitive for, but Gray Duckling says, I feel bad for him too. God, it sucks to lose a winery. Hey, wait a minute. Before you get too worried about Brad Pitt, I think he got the winery. I think the winery is still Brad Pitt's.
Yeah, I think it is. I thought she gave up her half.
Yeah.
He like
Lord be praised. It's still his. At one point, he poured beer on Jolie. So far, I see nothing criminal. At another, he poured beer and red wine on the children. Jolie allegedly tried to intervene at one point and grabbed her then husband from behind to try to stop him. I like that people can still be white trash on private planes.
I know. This seems below them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This seems weird.
It's like something you'd see at a Walmart in like Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
You know? This is something you'd see at a Walmart in Little Rock with Colin Ray selling VCRs.
And it's like your uncle, brother, and your aunt, sister fighting.
Fuck you guys. I just made a Colin Ray Little Rock reference and it got nothing. I'm proud of it. Suck my ass. Jolie allegedly tried to intervene and grabbed her then husband from behind. To get Jolie off his back, Pitt threw himself backwards into the airplane seats. Oh, he did like a turnbuckle smash. You know, like when a wrestler's in a sleeper hold and he runs his opponent into the turnbuckle.
Dude, she's like frail. This had to have like hurt bad if
and she's got no tits for padding, remember?
I don't think she has any body fat at all.
She lopped her tits off, remember? Back in the day. She got new ones, but she lopped both her tits off. She applegated herself.
Oh my God.
And she's one of the people who did it on like because she found out she had like a 20% chance of getting breast cancer. She didn't even have it. To get Jolie off his back, Pitt threw himself backwards into the airplane seats, injuring Jolie's back and elbow. The children rushed in and all bravely tried to protect each other before it was over. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face. Some of the children pleaded with Pitt to stop. They were frightened. Many were crying. That doesn't sound good.
Is he coming out and like refuting any of this?
Well, in September 2016, Pitt was under investigation for alleged child abuse by the FBI over that incident. However, authorities did not pursue criminal charges against the award-winning actor, who revealed in September 2019 that he got sober. According to documents previously obtained by Page Six, a representative of the United States Attorney's Office came to the conclusion to not prosecute Pitt based on discussions with the case agent. So this apparently is an old story that people knew about, but it's being brought up again in a lawsuit.
Oh, that seems like the theme now, isn't it?
Because fuck these two is basically what each one is saying.
What a miserable existence. You both got lots of money. Wouldn't you just want this divorce to be over?
Well, this isn't even divorce. This is lawsuits after the divorce.
I'm saying that. Why even carry on like that?
Nobody feels like they've won yet. You know who did win?
I'm going to make you look shittier than I ever have.
You know who did win in this whole thing?
The kids? No. Kids probably not.
Jennifer Aniston. Remember, he cheated on Jennifer Aniston with Angelina Jolie, and that's how their marriage got split up.
That's right. She gets to sit back and sip her wine and be like,
Yep.
huh.
Well,
That looks like that was a good idea.
I certainly didn't take a turnbuckle shot, so I think I win. I didn't get red wine spilled in my hair, and I aged much better than Angelina Jolie did, thank you.
Plus, he cheated with this train wreck. So,
Dude, I saw a movie preview for a movie Jennifer Lopez is doing with Josh Duhamel coming out here. It's a romantic comedy. It's fucking creepy how that chick is aging.
like backwards, you mean?
Yes. It's
But
weird.
she's getting younger.
Dude,
and
she
better
fucking
looking
looks
somehow.
like Made in Manhattan still.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
I don't know how she does it.
It's whatever she's put in her body, it should be outlawed.
I will not say that Hustlers is a good movie, but she looks damn fine in it. It is really shocking.
Thank you very much to AKA Wheels for the $19.99. Appreciate that. And Legendary Side Effect with $5. Thank you, guys. Very generous start to tonight's show.
Thank you.
225 away from our goal. You guys are right on the way to knocking this thing out. Everybody chip in and we'll have ourselves 30 minutes of overtime. Witches Hollow says that could be out of context. Spilled wine and falling on a plane could be turbulence. Well, look, if Brad Pitt's legal team is looking for openings,
Yeah.
I'll give them your number for sure.
It's just an oops.
Yeah. Atomic Citizen says it's a super center in Pigeon Forge, Aaron.
They're definitely super centers.
I want to apologize. Not only to Walmart, but to all of Pigeon Forge. You have Dollywood, and what I said can't be taken back. I can only hope that I can do better in the future. Thank you for your time. Citizen M says you should never lay your hand on your children, but what did they do to enrage him? No successful adult acts out like that for no reason. It's not true. Beretta and OJ did. I mean,
I'm
Chris
sure,
Benoit did.
But again, in their head, they had a reason.
Yeah.
I do agree. Don't ever lay hands on a kid. There's nothing a kid could ever do to deserve it. But why did the parent feel that was necessary?
Yeah.
What happened?
It's a terrible thing to say to a child to go, what did you do to make your father hit you? It's like, that's going to fuck him up for life. But we can all wonder to ourselves
Yes.
what those children did.
I mean, you can certainly be that enraged. You just cannot touch anybody.
JC says Ben Affleck is a lucky man. Dude, he came back too. Like, he circled back around.
He's a catch too. I feel like they're both lucky. Shut up.
I mean, he's
Stop
a good...
pretending he's not.
No. He's a good-looking guy, but I'd be careful with catch. Ben Affleck's a reclamation project.
Oh, my goodness.
The drinking and all that shit. Apparently, it's behind him, but he was, I mean, by his own admission, just a complete piece of shit for a long time.
I mean, I'm sure she's done things.
D. Gulag says, I'm Italian. I get slapped by every relative. And that's just how they say hi.
Yeah.
Obese Lemonade says, conspiracy theory, Jennifer Aniston is a vampire.
Interesting. She also doesn't age very much.
No, not at all.
She's very, very beautiful still.
Taste Fairy says, Affleck is a huge cokehead. Oh, is it cokehead? I'm sorry. I thought he was a drinker. I thought booze was his thing. I could be wrong. Maybe it was coke. I'm look, I'm not married to my position on what Ben Affleck was addicted to. Whatever he was addicted to, it made him do Jersey Girl. So
Do you know I've never seen that movie?
I don't mind it. I understand it's dog shit. I understand nobody likes it.
Do you want to know why I never watched it?
Why?
I don't even know what it's about. Just that name sounds gay as hell. Jersey Girl. It sounds like a musical, and I don't like that.
It's about a Jersey girl. All right, moving on here. I thought this one was fun. We probably won't spend too much time on this one. It's not as funny or entertaining as the last couple have been. I did want to address one thing in the chat. Somebody said, why don't you rip on Kenny Bolin anymore? There's no views in it.
There's no views in it, and he's the type of guy to like come up with lies straight out of his asshole about people and try to get them in trouble.
Not only that, Kenny Bolin's very long form. I don't sit and watch all of these shows. Like, I have sources I go to for clips on these people. I go to Fighter and the Kids subreddit for Brendan. I go to Dabblers Anonymous for Stuttering John. And I go to Snort Burnell, Memology, and Hollywood Snort Hogan for DSP. And Sunrise Productions for Ethan Ralph. Need Trump says, my wife had like 9 uncles and ain't uncles. I don't know what he meant there.
Ain't uncles.
And ain't uncles had a knot at an Italian family reunion. Everybody was getting black eyes. The hands were flying.
What the fuck is with that sentence?
I'm going to read it 14 times tonight to see if I can make heads or tails of it.
Okay.
KF says, and Mindceptor to see what the losers are crying about. I let those guys come to me because, again, we deserve a better class of troll. God, that's all. I need one who has an audience, you know?
Every now and then I get Twitter notifications for you, right? So I'll see you're like involved in some conversation. So I'll go back and try to read the threads. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Do you notice how much attention they try to get? Ooh.
No, what?
It's brutal. NYU just fired an organic chemistry professor. He wasn't perving on anybody. He didn't have like peepholes or anything like that. The students actually complained to the administration that he was teaching the class too hard. They fired him. They let him go. They got rid of the professor. The students came to the administration and said, I don't understand chemistry at all. And they went, well, the teacher has to go if you won't do it with Lego building blocks. And so off you go.
This is ridiculous. These kids have clearly never had a chemistry class. I was so good at biology, so good. But when it came to chemistry, I fucking sucked. It's hard. It just
NYU just fired an organic chemistry professor because students complained that his class was too hard. Not a joke. In the field of organic chemistry, Maitland Jones Jr. has a storied reputation. He taught the subject for decades, first at Princeton, then at NYU. Hack. And wrote an influential textbook. He received awards for his teaching as well as recognition as one of NYU's coolest professors.
Not a bad start.
I don't know how much is left in colleges in general. I don't know how much time they have left on this earth, but you guys gotta stop letting the inmates run the asylum. When I was in college and I started to see universities where the students could go sit in the dean's office and protest something and nobody took them out of there, I went, oh, this doesn't end well. And now, like 15 years later from like the time I'm 20 to now 35, it's gotten so much worse. Now it's down to, hey, we want segregation back. You should have places for only black people to live and places for only white people to live. And now it's, fire this teacher. He's making the class too hard. It's like, dude, it's fucking organic chemistry.
Just stop going, to be honest. Like, it's too much for you. You can't handle it.
There is no 2 + 2 = 4 in organic chemistry. Basically, organic chemistry is one of those classes where you go, I'm just going to read the textbooks 14 times over.
Memorize.
And try to memorize enough of it to get a C so I can just move on.
That's it.
It's exactly what organic chemistry is. High Main says it's universally known as like the hardest fucking class.
It is. And it's hard for a reason. Like usually the people that need that class to go on to whatever major, that's going to be like a doctor or somebody that needs to like know that shit. So if you can't pass the class, you can't be doing that profession.
Organic chemistry is one of those things you need in like medicine or engineering to make those split-second decisions as to whether or not someone's going to die or lose a leg.
Exactly.
Or a factory's going to blow up if they install a piece of machinery.
Yep.
Organic chemistry is the thing that you have to be able to tap into in a split second to make a call.
And I've largely heard from employers, too, that they care a lot about you passing certain classes or getting a degree just because of the structure and, like, responsibility it teaches you, not even just the grades.
Yeah.
So if you can't hack a class like that without just complaining and calling for someone's job, I think you're fucked.
I worry, man. I feel like Zoomers took the millennial shit, like the worst parts of millennials, and evolved it down worse. Because we used to complain like, oh, when are we ever going to use this shit? Oh, I can just use my phone. Who gives a fuck? But we'd still do it. We'd just complain the whole time.
Yeah. You still did it.
Now
That's
these
fine.
Gen Z kids are just like, all right, we have two choices. We could sit here and slog through organic chemistry, try to pass the class and get out of it. I got a better idea. We could just complain about the teacher until they fire him. We could just destroy this man's ability to make a living because we're too fucking stupid to grasp what this award-winning Ivy League teacher is telling us.
So I have a question for them then. Like, once this guy's fired, who are you getting to teach OChem? Like, who's going to do it for you in the way that you need it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, what? Are you going to run the class and just give everyone passing
Probably,
grades?
yeah. They'll just hire somebody who will, like, grade on an
Like
equity
a tutor,
curve.
one of the tutors?
Yeah, like if you're an underserved minority, you start out with a little bit higher score. That would be ideal. I should stop joking about that because that might actually happen.
Yeah.
Last spring, as the campus emerged from pandemic restrictions, 82 of his 350 students signed a petition against him. So about 270 didn't. Students said the high-stakes course, notorious for ending many a dream of medical school, was too hard. Yeah, you know what else is going to be hard? Saving a gunshot victim in that amount of time.
That's what I'm saying. If you can't do a class, you can't save somebody. That's it.
Yeah, but if
you know what you do when you fail a class? You take it again, and then you take it again if it's something you really want. You keep paying for it until you get it.
They blamed Dr. Jones for their poor test scores. If you're looking for someone to blame because you're not doing very well in a class, and the guy you're blaming's his name starts with doctor, you're probably wrong.
Right, the guy who had to pass this class to get there.
The professor defended his standards, but just before the start of the fall semester, university deans terminated Dr. Jones's contract.
Did they have a statement?
A colleague said he worried about any effort to reduce the course's demands, noting that students in organic chemistry want to become doctors.
Precisely.
Unless you appreciate these transformations at the molecular level, he said, I don't think you can be a good physician, and I don't want you treating patients. That's what he said.
We're going to have Justin Long, the doctor out of Idiocracy someday.
Oh my God. You're right. That's the straight line to how we get to Justin Long, Dr. Justin Long.
It is. Absolutely. These kids don't have any responsibility anymore. Like, they don't take their grades seriously at all and the effort. They'll just blame it straight on the professor. And it's like, nope, you've got to go now.
You talk all gay and, you talk like and your shit's all retarded. Congratulations. You've got an A. Oh, it's okay, Scroat. Oh, there's plenty of tards out there living kick-ass lives.
Dude,
my first wife, she was tarded. She's a pilot now.
You can draw a straight line from this shit, like this guy getting fired and them bitching to that, though. That's what's going to happen.
JC has a great candidate for the new professor. She just gave a speech at Oxford.
Oh, God.
Cash me outside.
Again,
She can teach some organic chemistry.
Justin Long went to that school.
Yeah. You're all tarded.
You're all tarded.
Yeah, it's like organic.
But it's okay because we all are.
It's like organic chemistry, fuck, dude, right? Because, there's like a guy bleeding, and you're like, whoa. And you're like, don't die, Scroat.
OChem stands for just, chem, man. It's chemistry.
Please welcome your new professor. His name is Daniel. In walks Keemstar. It's now organic chemistry. How you doing? Let's get right into our class. Like, why are we hiring Keemstar for this?
I want John Taffer to teach chemistry.
Yeah, he doesn't know shit about chemistry, but he'll yell at all those kids.
He'll yell at all of you and scare you straight.
Yeah. So they said that his standards were too high because, you could fucking kill somebody if you don't know this stuff.
If I ever find out I'm being treated by one of these people, I'm suing.
About a decade ago, Jones said in an interview he noticed a lot of focus among the students, even as more of them enrolled in his class, hoping to pursue medical careers. Students were misreading exam questions at an astonishing rate, he wrote in a grievance to the university, protesting his termination. Grades fell even as he reduced the difficulty of his exams. So it is. We said it as a joke. They're idiocracying this whole thing. He's lowering the difficulty of the tests, and they're still screwing up on them because, in his words, they can't fucking read.
And you know what? There's probably somebody in the school, like on the board of education or whatever there, that is going to say, like, oh, you know, if the students aren't passing, that means he's not doing a very good job teaching either, so he's got to go.
Yeah, I mean, if these kids don't understand organic chemistry, you know what happens to your relatives?
What?
Graham died alone.
That's exactly what happens. Oh, man. So they let him go because he was being too hard.
Everyone's dehydrated eventually, and it's just, oh, you just need some Brondo.
Yeah.
It's what people
That's
crave.
what students crave. Fuck. Here's what they said in their petition. We are very concerned about our test scores and that they are not an accurate reflection of the time and effort put into class. You see, I'm worried. We've really fucked over these kids. We've just set them up to fail, man. They've had it taught to them that time and effort equals a good grade. It's like, no, look, I could put time and effort into throwing a football. I'm still going to get sacked 62 times and throw for -4 yards with 19 interceptions if I play in an NFL game. Just because I put in the time and the effort doesn't mean I do well. You still have to do a good job.
Yeah, I think you need a good balance of both because time and effort put into anything is going to make you better at it.
Right.
But
they showed up.
is not just that.
Right. They showed up and they're like, well, where's my A? It's like, you answered everything wrong.
Right.
What are you talking about? Thank you to Trucker 18-Wheeler for the $10. He says, I heard Stuttering John is going to teach it. Oh, man, he's a teacher. He qualifies, right? Get John in
I don't
there.
understand that, how he got qualified for a teaching position.
Have you seen our education system lately?
Touche.
There you go. $215 away from our goal today. If you guys feel like it, go ahead and chip in. We're about 15 minutes away from the halfway point. And usually if we get under $200 in the goal by that halfway point, we're on a good run to knock out the goal. So if you feel like chipping in $5-10, there's the PayPal link in the chat. It's also at the top of the page. Super chats and memberships are welcome as well. When we hit that goal, we throw an extra half hour onto this little 2-hour evening show we're doing. Standalone K-Corn says we are setting ourselves up to die by passing incompetent doctors into the workplace. I know.
He's not wrong.
That's cute. You think you'll make it past the first play of a 400-pound lineman turning you into a grease stain. That's a good point. I just meant like I would get sacked that many times if I was still alive. Good point. Billy the Kid says these kids think they're doing good if they just show up.
I mean, think about some of this shit, too. There are some doctors out there right now, like they have the position already, that if somebody fat comes in with like a do not weigh me card, some doctors will accept that and will not weigh you and they'll medicate you anyways.
Right.
That's a slip, too.
We have a thing now where people show a card. This is a real thing. They show a card that says, do not weigh me. Because they're ashamed of their weight, yet they're proud to be fat at the same time. It's interesting.
It's shameful.
So they don't weigh them. Meanwhile, they still might have to prescribe them medicine or give them surgery where they need to know how much stuff to use. But, we don't want to embarrass the person. Fucking brilliant, man.
I mean, everything right down to like when you're out for a surgery, they need a certain amount of people to move your fat ass from like a bed to a bed. Like, I mean, it's a lot of little things you don't think about.
See, as a doctor, you can only win by like muttering things under your breath. That's the only way you can get back. You're like, oh, let me see that card. All right. Thanks, fat shit. Okay, there you go. So what seems to be bothering you today? Would you just call me a fat shit? Why would I say that?
No, I said I need to take a fat
shit. Yeah, you got to remove the pork grease from your ears because you can't hear me. What do you mean I have pork grease in my ears? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was pork grease. Because you're fat.
It was shiny.
Thank you to Dub for the $10. He says, best wishes all. Thank you, buddy. 210 away from that goal today. So we are getting there. Thank you guys very much. You want to throw in a couple bucks on PayPal, keep knocking that thing down. 10 minutes until the halfway point and only $10 away from getting under 200. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Pretzel Eater says, can't even get an accurate fish weight these days.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
That does still, like, it's almost impressive to me, the gall of those guys to, like, really just double that stupid fish's weight.
I know.
Like, I could be holding up the same fish over here and it's half the weight of yours.
You could have stole a little bit at a time. You could have added a little bit at a time, and you would have been fine.
How many of them, or how many times to say, oh, it's pregnant fish. They're pregnant.
Yeah, 18 pounds pregnant. Birdman says, I'm 2 weeks into college, and a student basically asked the professor for less coursework, and she replied, only if I can do less work, too, in the real world. Good. I'm glad there's people who are... I feel like that's the majority of teachers and professors still, and we always just see the shitty ones.
Well, and that retort was basically what I'm saying. It's not even all about the grade and passing that class. It's about, can you do the structure? Like, can you handle that?
Billy the Kid says, a university in Australia are looking to hire 10 people in the physics department. No men need apply. Seriously, this is true. Oh my God, that's going to be terrible. Women are too dumb to get physics.
Yes, you're right.
If we don't have men doing physics, the world might literally stop spinning. It's going to be terrible.
The women will make it stop.
Atomic Citizen says floor pressure weights would solve that problem. Oh, just turn every tile into a scale.
Oh my God. It's just like the same one at the vet's office where they have the big dogs walk onto it.
Dude, how about this?
Just when you walk in.
When a fat broad walks in, because let's be honest, it's not guys bringing in the don't weigh me cards.
I don't think so.
Guys, when they start getting fat, look at the scale and they go, fuck it, let me see if I can crack 350.
Or fuck, like, even like when I was at Dessert, the shipping department has a big ass like thing you set the pallets on to weigh it.
So I have an idea.
We can work.
Every time a woman comes in with one of those don't weigh me cards, we bring her into a back private room and she thinks she's getting like a special treatment, and we put her on a hanging scale like a cow. Like the way they establish. All right, this patient's hanging weight is 327. Who wants a quarter? Steaks and chops. Steaks and chops.
Oh my God.
Obnoxious John Melendez says, other than beer on the balcony, this is the best show on YouTube. Well, you know, we can't be a beer on the balcony. I understand.
That was very sweet.
Stevie J says, the men currently running the physics department set the female-only hiring policy, so it's pretty based. Oh, that's true.
Wow.
Because they know that then that way whoever's coming up behind them won't take their jobs from them.
That's incredible. Oh, my God.
Boy. So just hang them. Yeah, let's establish hanging weight.
You
of
like
these,
hanging weight?
These fucking pigs.
Wouldn't it be funny, like you said, bring them into like a back specific office or something? If it's just like a small cubicle like this with their desk and everything,
sure,
they could have like a weighted floor, like they said, like a scaled floor where everything's already weighed out and you just add her weight to it.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. She's just sitting there getting weighed.
Come on, guys. Let's think of ways to trick these fat broads into finding out how fat they are. I like this. Curly Adams says mixing fat shaming with sexism is impressive. Hey. You're welcome. What else do you come here for, right? Thank you to Redbeard for renewing your membership. 205 away from our goal tonight. If you guys want to chip in on PayPal, Super Chats, or membership, we're getting close to getting under 200 by that 1 hour mark. Thank you guys very much for keeping this listener-supported show on the air. You guys want to watch a helicopter crash in Fresno before we get into... then we'll get into... We'll put this towards the end. That's a little heavy for what the fun we're having. We'll do this helicopter crash story. Then we'll get into Gavin McInnes talking about his prank that he pulled and acknowledging it was a prank and kind of taking the L on the whole thing to Glenn Beck.
It's about time.
Better late than never. And like I said, you got to applaud people when they admit the truth. You know. So we're gonna watch this helicopter crash. Then we'll get to Gavin. 205. Away from tonight's goal. Here we go. This was captured on a Ring doorbell camera. Ring doorbell cameras, as they get more popular, I mean, sure, it's going to invade and sell our privacy to the highest bidder. Mm-hmm. Of course. But it's going to give us some pretty cool camera shots in the meantime.
I know. They are pretty cool that way.
Look, it's too late to complain about devices taking away our privacy. We gave that away a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I would argue we probably haven't had privacy in this country for at least 20 years. It's probably
probably 15, 20 years.
Yeah, it's been gone for a while. I would say the first time we logged on the internet.
Okay.
We didn't have any
something
privacy
was being
anymore.
sold.
Yeah, something was being bought and sold. So as far as these Ring doorbell cameras, if that's where you're starting to draw the line on privacy, it's too late. But let's see what this Ring helicopter captured. Or this Ring camera captured of a helicopter. Oh, shit!
They are weird and small. They just kind of come right down.
How fucking loud is that if you're in the house, though?
It's pretty fucking loud.
How bad? Like, do you shit
tree.
your pants?
I don't know if you shit. You definitely drop whatever you're doing.
You come close to shitting. And by the way, does this disgusting motherfucker have an empty pizza box just sitting on his sidewalk? Let's clean it up a little bit, for God's sake.
The pizza box is bothering you, but not the trailer full of junk in the front yard?
Oh, yeah, these people do look like trash. But hey, they got a Ring doorbell. Oh, my God. Look at that.
They just kind of fell out of nowhere.
They're just falling out of the sky. Yeah, the new guy was driving. He used to be an organic chemistry teacher, but he's fallen on hard times.
Dude, if you're that pilot, are you crossing your fingers you don't chop off somebody's head with that shit?
Or crash into somebody's house, or, crash into a yard full of kids playing.
Why wouldn't you crash in the middle of the street or
something?
something?
Well, if it were up to him, I'm sure he would.
You got close.
If he lost like a tail engine or something, it's probably a little difficult without that tail rotor to
some damn
steer the
geese
plane.
running into him.
Yeah.
Kind of just over quick, though.
It is over quickly, and it looks
helicopters are weird like that.
It looks like nobody got hurt. Yeah, it's not like in movies. In movies, when a helicopter crashes, there's a giant explosion. There's fire everywhere. Yeah. Real life ones are very uneventful.
It's kind of boring, actually.
Triple N says, R.I.P. my N Kobe.
Oh, no, too soon.
We have a lot of new people on YouTube from, that weren't here for the Twitch days. Do you guys want to say hello to an old friend? This is a good way to wrap up the first hour. And thank you, Curly Adam, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hello, Barber.
How the hell are my people in Minnesota?
What's going on, Barber? Live out there from Texas. Where you been, buddy?
I have been here on the goddamn porch drinking my goddamn Shiner box.
That sounds nice.
And how's Texas treating you, sir?
Yeah. It's treating me good. Long time no here since y'all went to that goddamn YouTube crap.
Oh, YouTube is way better than Twitch. For one, we're here.
Oh, my. You're here. But I can't freaking, what is it? I can't get into the chat. They won't let me.
Why can't you get in the chat?
Yeah, huh?
Now, I can listen live, but no chat option.
Do you have like a YouTube account?
Oh, I got a YouTube account, and it keeps trying to make me buy games.
No, click on the live chat button.
All you gotta do is click on the live chat button,
Barber,
and it'll be there.
Nah,
Okay.
It don't work.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
look, you keep working on it.
Anyway.
What's your YouTube screen name, Barber?
Kirk Allen.
Kirk Allen. Okay. I've seen. I feel like
no, that's
okay.
from Twitch. You
All
remember
right.
from Twitch.
Well, Barber,
Buddy.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
we're gonna work on that for you, and hopefully you can get in the chat. But thank you for calling in, Barber. Call us anytime.
Yeah, I was trying to get with Quite Frankly, but he didn't have nothing to do with me, so I called my boot people.
Thanks. I appreciate that we were your second choice to a show called what? Quite Frankly?
Quite frankly.
Oh, we've heard of that one. They're
Yeah,
supposed
we
to be
have.
good.
Mhm.
They're supposed to be good. All right. Thank you, Barber. Appreciate the time.
All right, y'all have a good evening. Love you.
You too.
You
Love
too.
you too, Barber. There we go. Barber making a pleasant return
Oh, wow, that's been a while.
to the Steel Toe Show. Thank you, buddy.
I feel like people who don't frequent YouTube have no idea what this little live chat button is.
I don't know how to help.
It's right there.
I don't know how to help Barber in the live chat department.
You got it, buddy.
But hey, Barber,
Have another Shiner Bach. It'll sharpen it up.
I feel like you'll figure it out, pal. 195 away from our goal. There we go. We're about to hit 8 o'clock, and we got it under 200. So if you guys want to start a little rally here, knock it down to around 100 for when we pass around the offering plate. We'll knock this goal out tonight, keep our winning streak alive, and then do an extra half hour of show for you. We're about to hit the meat of tonight's show. It's going to be very good. Let's go to April's parents' hobby farm. What's going on, buddy?
What the fuck y'all talking about? This is Barber again.
Oh, sorry, I misread that. Barber, how you doing, pal?
Good, y'all. Good. I just figured I'd call you back. I was
Barber. Are you about to say Barber? Are you about to say something remarkably racist?
As soon as I got off the phone with y'all, one of my employees' quotation came up from the field picking my cotton, and they said they were fucking my phone.
Barber.
Yeah,
Barber.
I think
you have a
we got
cotton
figured
field?
out.
Barber, you own a cotton field?
In Texas?
Well, yeah. How the fuck do you think I pay for goddamn YouTube Live?
You don't usually have to pay for YouTube Live, Barber.
Yeah, you do. It's $15 a month.
That's YouTube Premium.
That's premium. Sorry, that's more than I pay one of my employees a month.
What do you mean your
Barber?
Barber, what do you mean you don't pay your employees $15 a month? That's like slavery.
Slave labor.
Well, they make 10 a month.
They make 10 a month,
and I give them a little shack out back.
Barber, I feel like what you're
Barber,
I feel like what you're doing is called slavery, and it's actually been outlawed in this country for a long time. You can't do that to people.
Marshawn, shut the fuck up!
Oh man, Barber's having a tough time. He's yelling at Marshawn. That's not good.
Marshawn.
Oh boy.
Out in them cotton fields in Texas.
Yeah, we had to let Barber go. He's having a little bit of an issue with Marshawn, and Lord knows that the help can get uppity. So
Jesus.
His words, not mine.
Oh.
195 away from our goal. If you guys want to chip in and help out with that, we do appreciate it. Turtle says so many questions. Yeah, you'll get to know the regulars here, and perhaps eventually they'll grow on you, I suppose. All right, let's get into the Gavin stuff. We got Gavin McInnes.
Yes.
We've got Stuttering John, and we've got Brendan Schaub for this second hour of the evening show tonight, and a $195 goal to knock out. So if you guys want to help with some of that, please do. There's all the links in the chat. Gavin was on with Glenn Beck, and he admitted to the whole raid thing in his studio being a hoax. I mean, we all knew it was. We all knew it was a hoax. But it was nice to hear him say it and go, oh, boy, that didn't go so well. It was a prank kind of... Because he was trying to fight Owen Benjamin on it when Owen Benjamin called him out. And then he enlisted his lackeys to kind of join the fight. And Josh Denny felt like he had to come to Gavin's aid.
That's funny, though.
Anthony Cumia, to his credit, made fun of Gavin for it to his face. Mm-hmm. And they made some jokes about it. Didn't really say anything too mean about Owen. And I just kind of wish that Gavin hadn't gone after Owen the way he did, because Gavin now just ended up going on Glenn Beck's show, admitting the whole thing was staged, admitting it doesn't look good. And so basically just making Owen's points after he shit on Owen. Dub says, Balls Deep says, venerate the roids. I love that he throws the Proud Boy gimmicks out there. Let's watch Gavin McInnes on Glenn Beck's show.
So tell me about this clip, because I watched this a couple months ago or a month ago, however long it was.
This is a $10,000 joke. I lost 100 subscribers because of it. But I was going away to Paris for a week because my daughter was going to college, and I thought, let's make it interesting.
So I have to tell you,
we're shooting.
I watch it. Hang on before you play it. I watch it. Right after you had done it, because everybody's like, he was just arrested, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, good Lord, man, we are in bigger trouble than I thought. And
see, now that bothers me because Glenn Beck's smarter than that. Glenn Beck's smarter than that. As soon as we watched it, we went, oh, this is like a weird morning zoo prank.
That's what I was hoping Glenn was going to say.
Really? That Glenn Beck bought it?
No.
Oh, you were hoping he was going to say he didn't buy it.
Right.
Yeah. No, well, then again, Glenn Beck's a boomer.
I guess.
boomers.
I just give him a little more credit because I figure he's smart.
But I mean, this is what I don't like. I'm glad Gavin's admitting that it didn't work out. I'm not happy that it cost him subscribers. That's not good. That's probably like $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month that probably lost him. Might cost somebody, might make him, cut an employee or something. I don't know. It's not good, but he kind of did it to himself.
Well, that's kind of what I would say. Isn't that the better option than having somebody canceled for being shitty?
Yeah.
I think that's the way that you do it.
So he loses subscribers. That I guess that's the 10 grand. He's talking about 10 grand a year in subscribers. And then saying, it was I was going on vacation, so I thought, let's do a spicy prank to up the ante. The only problem is you're the creator of the Proud Boys, and a lot of your boys went to jail, went to prison in a very similar fashion.
Yep.
Maybe not being interrupted on a podcast, but raided by the FBI, searched, sent to jail. You bailed on the Proud Boys as soon as those guys were going to jail. You say it was to alleviate their prison time. I don't really think...
You don't buy that one?
It's not that I don't buy it. He might believe that, but I don't know who told them that. That might have been shitty advice. Those guys went to jail. They're still doing time for being in Gavin's little drinking club.
So then you'd say that making a joke similar to such wouldn't be a good look.
Making a gimmick about the reason some of the kids you recruited can't see their children. I don't know. It's kind of a dog shit. First of all, it's dog shit because it's a morning zoo 1990s wacky we're going on vacation but we're suspended prank, and I hate those. But number two, and I'm not a tasteful guy, so the bad taste thing is kind of peripheral, but it is bad taste also.
Yes, it is.
It was crazy because I thought it could actually happen.
Oh, it can, and it will.
It will.
There's a method to the madness with the prank. It's not just like,
yeah.
My point was, first of all, this is happening to people in real time. Tim Pool's been swatted 1 million times. Alex Jones is on trial for getting Sandy Hook wrong. I
love Alex Jones. It's not that he's not getting sued for getting Sandy Hook wrong. Let's be clear about this, Gav. Alex Jones is sued because he called the parents crisis actors and said their children didn't really die, and then besmirched them on his program over and over and over.
That's definitely false and actionable.
That's very actionable.
There's the thought police are in full effect. And I also wanted to lampoon the media's bloodlust for us suffering.
Okay, so hang on. Let's play the clip now.
That I don't mind. That part I get. I just think that the way he did it was dumb and not good.
It was tacky.
I get him making the point that, hey, look at how much these media people just jack off to the idea of me being in trouble. Mm-hmm. But I think we kind of got that idea before you did any of that.
Yeah, I don't think you need to put your livelihood at risk.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We're shooting a show. Can we do this another time? No one's there.
People were analyzing this.
You know what? I screwed up. My watch says 2:30. The show's at 9.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They saw my watch.
So it was pre-recorded. Okay. Well, I didn't catch that part of it.
Do that. Let's. I'll get a lawyer, and we will sit down and have a conversation. We'll schedule a meeting, and we'll sit down with my lawyer.
People were examining this. They said it's the FBI. I heard scanners.
We added that in post.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, they put that. They added sounds in there to make it sound like somebody was there. Oh, that was a really
gotta lean in.
Dirty dog shit, hacky morning zoo thing to do then. Here's my only thing. Like I said, I didn't have any problem with him doing it. I wasn't like, oh, Gavin should be canceled. Gavin's a terrible guy. I don't like that he's taking the L and admitting it now and basically saying all the things Owen Benjamin did. Meanwhile, he enlisted all his lackeys to go after Owen, and he criticized and shit on Owen and said, I'll never talk to that guy again. Well, Owen just beat you to the punch on exposing your bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about I mean, sure, good, he finally admitted it, but it seems like he could have done that sooner.
Right, you did a shitty bit, someone called you out for it. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing in the world.
I have a buddy from the Bronx, an ex-cop, and I was like, first of all, I asked real cops. I said, can you come in and bust me? Maybe give me the old wood shampoo. And they're like, first of all, I haven't been wood shampoo in about 15 years, like the batten.
Right.
And he goes, also, you want me to lose my pension, $4 million to amuse you? This isn't the 90s anymore, my friend. F you. So I got a retired cop, and I was like, just come in and go. He's got that thick Bronx accent. He's like, Mr. McInnes, I want to talk to you. You're not in trouble. We just want to ask you some questions, which is what they always say.
Right.
He was so drunk. He's like, Mr. Zazinnis, we just got to ask you some questions. I'm like, who's Mr. Zazinnis? Go, Bill. We call him Unreliable.
I want to be a guest on Glenn Beck's show, boy. He really gives it to you laughter-wise.
Yeah.
Glenn really pumps you up. Glenn makes you feel like $1 million.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
Think
The more he explains it, like
Gavin
again,
just looks bad.
Again, credit to Gavin for taking the L. That's a lot more than most people would do. He swallowed his pride and just went, look, it cost me money. It was a fucked up prank. It sucked. Didn't work. So credit to him for doing that. But the more he explains it, the more it's just like, dude, you're explaining this to me even after the fact, after you had to have time to think about it. It still sounds fucking stupid.
It was lame. It was really bad.
It sounds, dare I say, even boomery a little bit. Tim Pool got swatted too. I don't know what his point was on the Tim Pool thing. Like, Tim Pool gets swatted by like people who don't like him. Pro Wrestling Feed says, I actually side with Alex Jones, freedom of speech. The parents are suing him to get rich off of their children's deaths. Disgusting. Look, again, I like Alex Jones. I've been in this business a long time. I know what the rules are. What Alex Jones did, you're not allowed to do. That's just the way that, defamation of character works. Like, those people got harassed. Those people were threatened. A couple of them had to move a few times. It got bad.
When it gets that bad, I do understand the suing. I only understand this guy's comment to a point of, people could say that it wasn't true or something. That doesn't make it untrue. You could have just let it go.
Right. Let's go one more time over to Texas. Barber, how's it going, buddy?
I tried to download the app and everything. It didn't work. So I got to keep in touch with you two by phone call. Is that okay?
We always love hearing from you, buddy.
All right, man.
All right.
Hunt the deer, woman.
All right. Thank you, Barber.
All right.
All right. There's Barber coming back again.
So if I get this right, he can listen and watch us, but he can't.
But he can't
comment.
chat for some reason.
That is very weird.
All right, guys, 195 away from our goal tonight. Let's keep her going and knock that thing out. We got about 45 minutes until we pass around the offering plate and do our obnoxious begging segment at the end of the show. 195 away from that goal. Nothing in the PayPal yet so far tonight, so maybe we can get a nice little bump there. If you feel like becoming a Steel Toe VIP, Steel Toe VIP works like this. $250 in a week period gets you all 3 of our t-shirts. It gets you the hoodie, the 2 vinyl 5.5-inch vinyl stickers, 2 tickets to every live event we do, including our annual anniversary show, and you get entered in a $100 drawing every month on our final evening show of the month for our prize show. And also, when we come out with new merch, you get a free copy sent to you as soon as you claim it. That's the VIP program if you feel like becoming a member of that. Again, ways away yet, 195 away, about 45 minutes until we get into the can rattling segment. So let's see if we can go on a little mini rally here. About 3 more mini rallies. One now, one in about a half hour, one in about 45 minutes.
We can do it.
And we'll knock this thing out. 195 away from our goal. Listener contributions are the way we keep being able to do this. Veldrain says, I like Glenn Beck. Still no reveal on his 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, no.
He is in his Colonel Sanders phase.
He does resemble him greatly.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, he's got to be at least, he's got to be 60 by now.
God, he's still,
I don't know.
Good sense of humor and all that.
Glenn Beck age. How old is he? Oh, he's 58. Okay.
So he just has really white hair.
Yeah, when you look like Colonel Sanders, you look a little older. That's all. All right, let's continue on here. Moving on to Stuttering John Melendez. Stuttering John was in the news today. He was in the New York Post.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's making the rounds. I don't know what happened.
Carl can suck John's dick. Shuli can suck John's dick. Anthony can suck John's dick. I can suck John's dick. John's in the New York Post. I don't see us in the New York Post.
No, not yet.
I don't see Carl, Fancy Pants Carl, with his big live Detroit show that he just did, sold out to the rafters. I don't see Carl in the New York Post. Do you?
Nope.
Fucking Stuttering John's in the New York Post, goddammit.
What happened?
He lost a lawsuit to Howard Stern.
Oh, so it's not any kind of promotional.
Poor fucking John, man. Even when he gets back in the news
shit.
and he can be relevant again, it's for losing a lawsuit. And the lawsuit, man, the lawsuit he tried to pull was, I don't know what lawyer is taking money from him, but he should be investigated for being a crook. Because John comes up with these harebrained schemes for lawsuits, and his lawyer pushes some of them through. Mm-hmm. Like, he wanted to sue SiriusXM for using his name and voice to promote Stern's shows, meaning they're playing old clips with John on them.
So something he already consented to previously?
Well, John, in his stupid, dumb fuck John Melendez mind, believes that because it's his voice, he's entitled to some of the Howard Stern royalties.
Oh,
He does not understand that the minute he spoke those words into that microphone, it became property of, at the time, CBS. Then it became property of Howard Stern. Then I believe Howard sold his catalog now to SiriusXM.
Yeah, if you were part of the thing at the time, it's that
Right.
thing's thing now.
Yeah, John, if they're playing your podcast as part of their broadcast schedule and promoting it and not paying you, okay, maybe you have a case. I don't know why they'd want to do that unless they were planning to
Right.
tank their own stock price. But if they're playing clips from you on the Stern Show, John, that's owned by the Stern Show and thus fair game for SiriusXM as they've either bought or leased Howard's catalog. So I don't know who his lawyer is that's entertaining these dipshit ideas that he has.
A friend.
But he's doing it, and he's taking John's money, and he is, the checks apparently are not bouncing.
Okay, so a friend. The only reason I could see somebody in John's position to do such a thing is either you just hate Howard that much that you just kind of want to stick it to him, or you actually just need money, so you're grasping at straws.
I think he misses Howard. I think
look at me.
I think he misses
attention.
Howard. And I think it's an attempt at a money grab and to try and get his name back out there. To add insult to injury, I believe this ruling came down on John's birthday. So happy birthday to John. You lost your Howard Stern lawsuit with SiriusXM. And I guess it's still, now he's not going to be able to do beer on an actual balcony. He'll have to stick to the green screen.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Union Jack says he owns his voice still. He owns his voice, but the recording of his voice from a microphone it does not belong to him anymore. Loaded Wrench says it's also on the anniversary of his mom's death. Ooh, boy, to quote the movie Basketball, it really does seem to be raining shit on John Melendez.
I can't imagine such a stupid thing, though. I guess we're obviously not something huge or anything, but what if I had a severe falling out with you in the show, and I called you a year later because I heard that you were playing clips with me in it? There's nothing to stand on there.
If you leave, we're having an April clip barbecue. We're just going to be playing clip after clip and trashing the shit out of you. It's going to be so much fun.
Wow, it almost sounds like you're looking forward to it.
I mean, it's in the safe. I have it as
the fuck?
I have it as an option, a nuclear option.
Why would you do that?
If I have to. I
never plan to fail.
I'm always prepared.
What is wrong with you?
I'm like Gustavo Fring.
I will also start preparing for your.
Are you going to build a wheelchair bomb?
I don't know yet.
God damn it. All right, so then Stuttering John. Let's see how Stuttering John spent his birthday, shall we?
Yeah.
Check in on old Johnny boy, see how he's doing. He apparently spent it with something called Tony Michaels, who I think is another podcast host, and Gabe Sanchez, who's some fucking guy. Again, John doesn't exactly get the biggest named guests in the world. I mean, look, I'm not sitting here and saying that we're getting A-list celebrities either, but at least we can carry a talk show. John has people on with them, and for the life of me, I have no idea why they're on with him.
This is the weirdest looking trio ever.
Yeah, the nerve of these, and this is coming from me, the nerve of these people to believe that they should be on camera. Again, coming from this guy.
He's upset about their hair.
So Stuttering John decided to spend his birthday shitting on Gavin McInnes and Anthony Cumia. And then somebody trolled John as Red Bar, pretending to give him money.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
here we
fun.
go. Now, Red Bar Radio is not Mike David.
No, of course
It's
not.
Red Bar X Scars Club X or whatever. But a guy named Red Bar Radio gave John a $2.79 super chat and said the following.
I love Red Bar Radio and fuck Anthony Cumia. He's a vile piece of shit.
Is that the guy that got you beat up his girlfriend or some shit?
Yeah, beat up his girlfriend.
Wow, that Tony Michaels is Mr. Radio voice, isn't he?
Totally.
Hey, isn't that guy that beat up his, I don't know, Mark Levine's kid, is it?
Look at that little chipmunk face.
Oh,
he
my.
sounds that way.
Isn't that the guy who beat up his girlfriend? You know exactly who the fuck he is. Don't be cute.
He's a biter.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And underage girls. Oh, yeah. He was arrested for it.
Anthony and Opie, right? Or Opie?
Well, he was not. Whoa, John. For Mr. Lawsuit here, you're treading dangerous legal ground. Did he just say that Anthony got arrested for being with underage girls?
That is what
Go
he
back.
just said.
Hold on. Let's shut up for a minute here.
Some shit?
Yeah, beat up his girlfriend.
Wait, what?
And underage girls. Oh, yeah. He was arrested for it.
Anthony.
John. That's like that Alex Jones shit. Like, you can't say that people were arrested for dating underage girls. I mean, that's got a paper trail.
Maybe he meant that he was arrested for beating up his girlfriend, but you need to enunciate that so you don't get any lines crossed.
And you know what John's really good at?
What's that?
Enunciating.
Yeah.
That's
what I've heard.
The guy who only made a dime in this business because he had a speech impediment.
God, what a sick joke that was.
And Opie, right? Or Opie and Anthony, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
This Tony Michaels guy, I've never seen him before. I've never heard him before, but this guy's about the biggest phony fake radio motherfucker I've ever heard in my life. And I can spot these guys from a mile away. He's doing all these hack tricks where he's like, Anthony, isn't that guy? And then goes on to quote exactly what he did as if he didn't know. And then he goes, wasn't he part of Anthony and Opie or Opie and Anthony? Or you know exactly what the fucking show is, Dingleberry. I don't care if you dislike those guys. That's totally fine. But don't be a disingenuous douche about it because you're not being cool like you think you are. You're just coming off like a douche.
Anything to egg John into talking more, though.
Oh, sure. At least John can get a little good rant in here.
Anthony.
Why no? But that's where he's
He's got
known.
the pop face, the really bad skin.
Wait, he beat up his girlfriend?
He bit her hand and he was.
There's a fucking video of it.
What the fuck?
There's a fucking video of it, I think.
Yeah.
I see this guy with his I think. You know chapter and verse. You've probably sucked on Anthony's dick online so much you can quote his entire career. But he's got to be, I think. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, but then when he plays the dumb guy, it totally opens the door for John to fill in everything.
I mean, Anthony Cumia, that's, what is he? He's from Long Island or something, just shot in the dark. What was he, like a tin knocker or something? I don't know what he was, but wasn't he a tin knocker? And then on that some radio station, might have been like a WBAB or something. He made like a song about O.J. Simpson. Like maybe it was called Gonna Electric Shock O.J. or something. And then they started doing a show together or something called like Anthony Anthony, something like that. Oh, this guy's a fucking puke. I don't know if any of you like Tony Michaels, but this is going up as a clip, and I hope I get some information on this guy where people are like, hey, feel free to unload on this piece of shit. Nobody likes him. Because I've never heard of him, and he's done like 4 hack tricks that I fucking despise.
I would guess nobody's heard of him.
A hat trick of hack tricks, if I may.
Ugh.
Well, there's a whole video.
Oh, yeah, he's a racist piece of shit, too. I mean...
Boy, this guy really doesn't know anything about Anthony.
But anyway,
he's
back
about
to
to say, I think he says the N-word.
I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I watch videos of him call people the N-word and everything else. So
yeah,
I assume
you've seen videos of him calling people the N-word. Really? I mean, I don't know anything about the guy, but like,
I've seen all the videos.
I've watched all the videos that you got to search N-word for, and I got to like, YouTube is not suggesting to you a video of Anthony Cumia or anyone else for that matter calling somebody the N-word.
It's never came up.
You have to search for that. This Tony Michaels, no offense, Mr. Michaels, I don't know you. Tony Michaels, isn't that guy with that really wispy gay hairdo? I don't know. I'm not sure. Tony Michaels, isn't that fucking guy who tries to grow a beard but can't? Is that? I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is he's overweight and he's really hacky. I'm not sure.
And then what's Gabe's role over here? Just the total aloof guy that doesn't say anything?
Gun to my head, I would say twink, but I'm not sure.
Look at this still shot of John here.
Oh my God, John is an animal.
This year.
He has Gavin McInnes on his show. He really likes Gavin McInnes.
No. Wow, you really don't know anything about Anthony, do you? I don't know. He's got Gavin on his show all the time. His social security number is 345.
He really did start with, who's this guy? Didn't he do a show once?
He doesn't know anything about Anthony except everything about Anthony.
What a hack.
Guys, if you're watching this video, I'm putting this one up tonight. If you guys are watching this video right now and you know nothing about our show, please become a fan, hit subscribe, all that stuff. But get me information on this Tony Michaels, on where I can see clips of him, where I can find him. I need to watch this guy because I love these dishonest, disingenuous, like non-revealing hacks are the most fun to watch.
I know.
Everyone doesn't know who Gavin McInnes is. He's the guy that stuck a dildo in his ass to prove that he wasn't gay because he called this group the Proud Boys. He's the founder of the Proud Boys.
This guy could write a biography on all these people, and he pretends to not know who they are.
He knows. He's got one posted somewhere.
You know what's annoying me most about this Tony Michaels? He's taking away from my shitting on John time.
I know. Now it's shit on Tony time.
John's not the biggest piece of shit in this single clip.
No.
Really?
Yeah. No, seriously. He live streamed himself with to prove
he wasn't gay. We played it on the show, or at least a part of it, without it being too revealing.
How does that prove that you're not gay?
I don't know. I mean, Gavin McInnes is not a smart person. He's a dumb fuck. I mean, he's friends with Anthony Cumia.
God, this guy oh my God, this guy doesn't know anything.
He's the worst. I don't know anything, but let me go on about how much I know about nothing.
Tony Michaels would be the worst guy to like commit crimes with, because like if he gets picked up, he's like, what do you mean? I don't even know the guy. We don't run bank jobs together every Tuesday where I drive the getaway car, which is a 1999 Chevy Impala, so as to avoid suspicion.
Might as well wink after everything.
Oh my God, Tony Michaels is a dipshit.
Tells you anything.
Yeah, I know.
But Gavin McInnes is a dumb fuck.
Anthony dropped out of freaking high school.
Hey, I dropped out.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
John, Anthony dropped out of high school. You live in an apartment that is 60% occupied by Marshall amps.
You can't even have beer on an actual balcony.
You have no balcony to have a beer on during beer on the balcony. Anthony Cumia, for all his shortcomings, is still worth anywhere from $5 to $10 million.
And still doing a pretty decent show.
And still doing a show to people who pay money to listen to it.
No, I'm just kidding. I dropped out of college. No, I did. I dropped out of college twice. There's nothing wrong with being a dropout, John. It just depends.
Where is this voice coming from?
I don't know. Did you hear that, though? There's nothing wrong
with being a dropout, John. And these two do a fucking show?
I don't know. This guy is like a non-factor. He's like an NPC over there.
Guys, overtime, we're checking on these two. Write down Tony Michaels, Gabe Sanchez. I gotta know what show these two fucks do.
Got it.
Watch it be really good.
They don't talk anything like this.
I know. Watch them just do a show, and it's like just being around John and being in his vicinity make you shittier.
Or they just did that on purpose because it's him.
I just love the hack tricks he does where he goes, oh, I don't know. Does he do? And then quotes his entire career chapter and verse.
I know. I got him.
I know, but
you know how many drugs you did and you continue to do, I guess. Huh?
He claims to be so smart, you know.
Oh.
I don't think Anthony claims to be smart.
I've never heard it.
Yeah. I don't think Anthony claims to be smart. I think John might just be a little ass hurt here that he's been getting his shit pushed in on Compound Media for the last month or so.
I think Anthony just kind of makes some observations.
Yeah.
With his Budweiser.
Well, I mean, I claim to be smart too, but that's just because I'm
so does Lauren Boebert. It just took her a few times to get the GED right, or at least pay someone to.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, and then somebody gave John $20. Oh, geez, color me jealous.
Fuck.
Oh boy. I hope that's an ironic donation. I really do.
I think they have to be. That's not a good show.
Let's go to the chat here before we wrap up our John coverage for the night. They're saying, who are these podcasts? Did an episode on what's his name, Tony Michaels?
Okay, well, we're about to look into this.
Oh, okay. Informal Warfare says he's really big timing Anthony Cumia. Oh yeah, big time. To be fair, bites his girlfriend, says the N-word, sticks dildos up their ass to prove they aren't gay. He could be talking about me, and he's confused. That's from Shane F.
That could be a lot of people.
Turtle says he had a shitty fast food vlog where he loses his mind over chicken nuggets. Definition of hack.
We have to watch that.
I hope we hit the goal tonight so I can watch this guy.
Chicken nuggets.
I really do. 195, by the way, away tonight. Turtles standalone Cakecorn says, John, you had a man dressed like a cockroach to mock your shithole apartment. Ooh.
It's not good.
Sent a link to WATP shitting on this guy. Oh, did you sent it to where? Let me know where you sent it. I'll go take a look. Billy the Kid says, Anthony is rich. Who cares when he left school? People who waste years in college for nothing are the ones who should be laughed at.
Valdrain's telling me that Gabe was the diversity hire. That's funny. It would explain some things.
Pro Wrestling Fiend says there's 2 or 3 episodes about him on Who Are These Podcasts. He took his vlogs down after they ragged on him. Oh, no. Tell me it bothers you without telling me it bothers you. Oh, good. We can take a look at that guy. All right.
I really want to see the chicken nugget one.
Oh, well, you know what? We're a long ways away from the goal tonight. We've only got a half hour left. If we knock out the goal, we'll do some overtime. We'll check that guy out as well. 195 away from our goal. Whatever we don't hit tonight rolls into tomorrow. So let's see if we can go on a little bit of a rally here. If you feel generous, if you feel like chipping into Steel Toe, please do. PayPal link in the chat, but there's also super chats and memberships if you feel like doing that. There's the link. It's also pinned to the top of the page. Let's see if we can knock that out so we don't have to adjust it to later in the week. We are $20 ahead for tomorrow morning, which is nice.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you to Flex, by the way. Flex became a VIP this morning. Very cool. American Boy says, wait till you watch the Who Are These Podcast show dissing Tony Michaels. It's hilarious. I'm
looking forward to it.
Very excited about it.
Flex, please message me with your information.
All right. So we're a half hour away, so I'm probably going to get a little pushy here on the goal. Forgive me for that, but, I hope you don't blame me. Just trying to keep my business alive. That's all. Again, there's the PayPal link in the chat. 195 away for today. Brendan Schaub took some shots at Joe Rogan. Remember, we played that clip where Joe told Brendan that he needs a handler.
Yep.
He said, Brendan had this shitty take on the UFC about that Khamzat Chimaev, Nate Diaz weigh-in fiasco. He said, oh, yeah, they had Khamzat weigh in overweight on purpose.
To throw it.
Because they wanted a different card. And it's like, Christ. And then Dana White thought it was Pat Miletich, who actually did say it also. And he criticized Pat because he thought Pat was smarter than that. And told him he was a fucking idiot for saying that. And then the press corrected him and said, no, it was Brendan Schaub. And then Dana went, oh, that makes sense. And the entire media room erupted in laughter as if saying in unison, oh, yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah, he would be the one to say that.
Well, then Joe, who works for the UFC, he heard about Brendan's little conspiracy theory and Dana going after him. And Joe Rogan said on his podcast, that was a dumb fucking take. Brendan needs a handler. He needs someone to say, don't say that. Just let that go. Just don't put that out there. So Brendan hears about it. Brendan had some Brendan had some commentary on his show, and he had his butt boy, Big Gay Lion, to be his laugh track in the background.
Oh, really?
Brendan got a little spicy, and he decided to bite the old hand that feeds him, but quickly tried to spin out of it and make it a shitting on Dana White thing.
No, I guess if he were to consider Joe Rogan a friend, though, and to hear your friend say that you need a handler, that's not going to feel good.
But if you're Brendan, how can you argue that?
I don't think you can. That doesn't make it feel any better.
You've been the laughing stock of the internet for the better part of a year, at least. You released one of the worst stand-up specials of all time, and it wasn't even a stand-up special. You uploaded a video to YouTube.
I very much think he's probably going to sit here and say, like, dude, I thought we were friends. How uncool was that?
No. It's worse than that. He's not even going to mention it was Rogan who said it.
Oh.
So he's gonna make fun of it and try to go after people without mentioning who originally said it. Because Dana White doesn't give a shit. He didn't say Brendan needs a handler.
So say you're mad at me without saying you're mad at me.
Right. Here we go. Here's Brendan.
Brendan needs a handler. Do I? Or does your boy need a handler?
So he's now referencing Dana White.
Yeah.
I will say this, Brendan. One of you is giving away tickets to your comedy show, and one of you is a multi-billionaire in charge of the biggest fighting organization in the world. So if you're asking to keep a scoreboard to see who needs a handler, I think Dana White's doing okay.
I think he can handle himself.
Yeah. I mean, out of you, Joe Rogan, and Dana White, 2 of those 3 people are still wanted by the UFC.
Rogan's just... Well, UFC and like Rogan sits and sells out shows all the time.
Right.
I'm not the one playing grab ass with Mark Zuckerberg, letting him rent out Thick Boy Studios, shutting it down.
Okay, first of all, Brendan, let's not act like you turned down Mark Zuckerberg. Let's not pretend that Mark Zuckerberg came to you with a wheelbarrow full of money and said, "Oh, you know what Meta needs? Thick Boy Studios flavor." We need your shitty whiskey in the background with Brian Callen's awful flip-flops while I broadcast my next update on the metaverse.
It was very much like a Thick Boy Studios reaches out to the metaverse and didn't hear back.
Right. I'm not palling around with Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, you're also not a billionaire like those 2 are. So I don't think they're... Brendan, I don't know if your phone died or something, but they ain't calling.
Oh, but they're playing grab ass.
They're playing grab ass, apparently.
Ugh.
For his entertainment. Don't call him Zuck on your fucking social media either. You don't.
You're what? Could I hear that one again, please?
Social media?
You're what? Your social... Is that like, is he from Boston and he's trying to say meter?
I think so.
There's a social meter? Like you got to put coins in it? I don't know what a social media is.
You're good for that amount of time.
Is that like a dating website where you meet people, you go to a social media, and you go,
It could be.
Is he trying to say the California city of Alameda?
You got it.
It's difficult with Brendan. There's so many possibilities.
Don't know the guy. You know, oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg's into jiu-jitsu, man. This is crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the fighters are just fucking CT up the fucking gills, bleeding.
You're going to accuse other people of having CTE. I mean, could this come off as a more jealous at Dana White in the UFC rant?
Just a hurt ex-girlfriend.
Boy, that Joe Rogan, you need a handler thing really rocked his world, didn't it?
And it's, like I said, it's not going to feel good, but this is probably not good either.
Really tied old Brendan up in knots there, didn't it? That he needs a handler thing. He is not taking it well.
Well, here's another reason why this is going to be bad for Brendan here is because the more he keeps going after the Dana White stuff and going after Dana in general, the more that's going to harm Joe Rogan, and Rogan's not ever going to have Schaub on again.
No.
At some point.
And I think both Rogan and Dana know, if Dana were even to ask him about it, Joe would be like, he's a fucking idiot. Who cares? Joe basically said on his show, he's a moron. Who gives a shit? They've probably laughed about Brendan behind his back.
They've drank about it before.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you made Joe Rogan pick between hanging out with Brendan Schaub and hanging out with Dana White, I'm sorry, Brendan, you're going to be off the teat. That's how that one's going to end. But boy, that handler comment really pissed him off. And Brendan also has this bad habit of fighting the battle long after the battle's over.
Yeah, it is late.
After he's been beaten, he keeps fighting the battle, and the other person has stopped fighting, so Brendan's like, yeah, I'm winning. I'm really taking it to him. It's like, no, Brendan, you've already been beaten into the ground. You're like that guy, you're, the Black Knight in Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
Cut off all the arms, cut off all the legs, and he's like, what are you going to do? What do you? I can't remember the fucking. Now I'm having a Brendan Schaub moment. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Bleed on me? That's Brendan fighting everybody. He did the same thing with Ariel Helwani. He did the same thing with the Bobby Lee Kalila thing. he just keeps trying to fight these battles. He loses them, and then he keeps fighting them. It's fucking remarkable.
When he keeps doing that, though, nobody's ever going to want to have him on again.
You just want to look at Brendan and go, stay down.
And fucking Starbucks employees have more benefits.
You hear that?
Starbucks.
What's the name of that What's the name of that coffee place?
Starbucks, like the town.
The city, the small town in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Fucking gills bleeding, getting fucking Starbucks employees have more benefits. And Mark Zuckerberg was like, yes, kill. She's like, they're actually hitting each other. And then
they're hitting each other?
They're henning each other.
They're henning each other. So wait, are they still at the Starbucks?
They're henning
or are they on or are they on social media?
They're henning each other at Starbucks on social media.
On social media, they're at Starbucks.
You gotta zorb it all. It'll
hitting
get
each
there.
other. I can't zorb all this. How am I supposed to zorb all these things when Brendan's throwing so many facts at me?
I know it's hard.
So we're at a Starbucks posting on social media about the hin each other. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see if I can. Here, guys, I can get
this.
This.
Getting fucking Starbucks employees have more benefits. And Mark Zuckerberg was like, yes, kill. She's like, they're actually hitting each other. And then Mark Zuckerberg was like, yes, babe, they're hitting each other. Some of them will die. She's like, they're going to die. He's like, hopefully, if it's up to me, they will die.
The fuck is he talking about?
He's remarkably unfunny. You forget about that, too. Like, Brendan Schaub's douchiness is an onion. And you got to remove all the layers. There's the he can't speak properly layers. Mm-hmm. There's the he can't take an L layer. There's the he can't take a hint layer. There's the he needs a handler layer. Mark Harley's a stupid R-word layer. But then at the very heart, what's the center of an onion called? Is there a center, or is it like
it's just kind of the
at
middle of the onion.
The heart of the onion is what we always forget because we're so tired from peeling away the layers, is that Brendan is also really unfunny, but with a passion. He tries very hard. It's like if you let a retard host the Tonight Show. He's going to give you everything he's got, but he's just not in the same league as the other hosts.
I mean, what Joe Rogan said's kind of coming true here too. It's like, so obviously when you get told that you need a handler, it's going to make you feel like a big dumb animal, but now you're behaving like one.
You know what? I know what happened. Brendan was told he needed a handler. And you know Brendan can't speak properly? He actually went out and hired Matthew Perry. That's what happened. He thought they said he needed a Chandler. And so he went out and hired Matthew Perry thinking that he needed a Chandler, and he got confused because he's a big dumb guy.
I can see what you did there.
I don't need a handler. These guys need a handler.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Does he believe that, or is this just coping? That's my question about Brendan. Does he believe it, or is it coping?
Well, I think there's a little of both. I think if you're him, you definitely don't want to believe that you're the one who needs a handler. Right?
True,
You're
but
not going to believe that one.
Does he believe that Dana White and Mark Zuckerberg need a handler? First of all, Brendan, to their credit, they do. They have multiple handlers. That's what people do, Brendan. So you're trying to shit on them, but in making that point, you're showing that you're the only one here who says dumb shit without a handler. You just, every time you open your mouth to defend yourself, you prove Joe Rogan correct.
Yes.
It's remarkable how this guy does it. He's his own worst enemy. He fights the battle for his enemies.
He's a buffoon.
Yeah.
Somebody should have gotten the ear of Dana and Mark Zuckerberg. Went, hey, you two rich, privileged fucks. Come over here. Let me tell you something.
Oh, ready? This is Brendan's big advice to the two guys running multi-billion-dollar companies. One runs the fight world. The other one runs social media. But don't worry, Brendan's going to set these guys straight.
I like how he's using the rich part as like a
rich and privileged,
a rich and privileged, like, you're nasty.
Meanwhile,
like, why do you think they're rich and privileged?
This guy is such a two-faced little shit because he'll flex on the haters be and talk about how much money he and Brian Callen make and how successful they are. But then when it's someone way bigger than him who could use that against him the way he uses it, they're rich, privileged guys. That doesn't work, Brendan, when you're a piece of shit about money too.
Somebody should have done this at UFC Institute. Hey, you two rich privileged.
They're enriched
They
like
are
flour.
Rich.
To rich, privileged fucks. Come here. Let me talk to you. Again, I need a handler. They need a handler.
Brendan Schaub, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, you got to give the guy one thing. He never gives the fuck up.
Even when he should, though.
He's never.
State your rights. Stay down.
He doesn't stay down. He keeps fighting even after the final bell is rung, and he's been declared a loser by a unanimous decision.
Dude, just play dead for a tiny bit.
Oof. Taste Fairy becoming a member. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Also, KF, our buddy Sage.
Sage Retard PhD KF.
With $5 says, do a Schaub having making love. Jesus, YouTube, we're adults. Let me use adult words. Impersonation. I got to imagine that's a garbled mess. Wow, YouTube really did make you mangle that one, didn't they? Wow. And thank you very much to Matthew for $50 over on PayPal. So, guys, our goal, we needed a little jump start there. We did get it. We've got about 10 to 15 minutes before we pass around the offering plate. And our goal is now down to a manageable 135. Let's see if we can get there. Let's see if we can knock this goal out tonight. Matthew, thank you very much for bailing us out, buddy. Now let's see if we can do this as a team effort. Maybe a series of 10s, a series of 5s, a series of 15s, instead of, one guy coming up really huge. That was awesome, Matthew. Thank you very much. But I think Sage had the right idea, and these people renewing their memberships. Remember, putting that membership renewal up in the chat knocks the goal down by $5. So always important to put that up there if you renewed your membership, that notification. So thank you again. 15 minutes left in regulation. If we knock out the rest of that 135, then we add an extra half hour to the end of the show. Curly Adam with a 10 spot. Thank you very much, buddy. 130 away from today's goal. Taste Fairy says YouTube censored my member message. Well, I guess they must do that. KF says my super chat was as clear as Schaub talking. Well, so I guess in a way it kind of works, right?
Yes.
I mean, if we're doing a Brendan Schaub segment. So a very funny Stuttering John segment and a very funny Brendan Schaub segment. It's nice when they both work. I'm going to put since it is his birthday, I am going to put that clip up tonight. So we're going to get that one up. Plus Oz and I had like 4 clips from today. One of them was a Stuttering John clip.
Oh.
So
big day for him.
Yeah, it's been a big Stuttering John day. Maybe I should put those 2 clips together.
Splice them.
And splice them into one big Stuttering John package.
Did he ever react to losing the lawsuit? Did he say anything about it?
I don't think it came down before his show.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And this was an appeal, by the way. So he's already lost this once.
Oh my God.
And this was the appeal of the loss.
How much money can he have? There's no way.
Well, somebody in the chat did say you're right. He actually uses like friends as lawyers and kind of mooches and gets.
Got it. They're helping out the Stuttering John.
John is known as a historic moocher. Like
I wouldn't believe you.
Historic moocher, big time moocher.
What?
That's Stuttering John. Loaded Wrench says this morning's show was awesome with Oz. I thought so too. I thought today's show was great. April also told me that Johnny, after yesterday's show, what is this something you can talk about? We're doing a fucking show. You can be goddamn honest.
Private moment.
Look, when you're on a show, you're going to learn this. There are no private moments.
Not with you, there's not.
If it's about the show, it's not a private moment. I've never played that shit. I don't believe in that shit. The one thing that keeps us all honest, I'm not saying divulge your own deepest, darkest private shit, but when it's about the show, it's for the show, 100%. But Johnny was being self-conscious after last week's show. And then he was self-conscious this morning. He told April, I feel like I'm not doing a good job. And it's just like, don't worry about doing a good job. The good job is on me. All right? You're doing fine. Don't you worry about doing a good, because I can't sit here and wonder if my fucking co-host is having a panic attack about whether or not they think they're doing well. Mm-hmm. So I don't want anybody who sits in that chair, Corey's got all the confidence in the world. I don't need anybody sitting in that chair worrying about whether or not they're doing a good job.
I absolutely told him first thing I said is Aaron would tell you if there was a problem.
I've always, thought even if my second mic is off, I can sense it and I can adjust. I'll be fine. These second mics got to not put so much pressure on themselves. Their job is just to react to what I'm doing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. D. Gulag says this morning and yesterday were amazing. Oh, yeah. I think we got quite a bit of clips from these first 4 shows of the week thus far. Jay Santos says, Oz fucks, Corey not so much. Why does it always have to end up going to that place? Like I like this person.
Because you opened the door.
I like this person. This person sucks. It's not what it needs to be about. Citizen M says, you should do something to compliment Johnny. Maybe give him Corey's spot. God damn, man. All right, we got a couple stories left in regulation here. We got about 5 or 6 minutes until we get to the panhandling 5 minutes, the final 5 minutes of the show. We did get down to $130 away from our goal. If you guys want to chip in a little bit and knock the rest of that down, that would be great. Justin says, Schaub, Big Gay Lion 2024.
Oh.
I'm all in. I would love to watch that campaign. Are you kidding me? I want to see Brendan Schaub in a debate. Could you imagine Brendan Schaub debating Joe Biden?
No.
It would end with Joe Biden go, I didn't understand a word that fucking idiot was saying all night.
I'd lose brain cells listening. Okay. That's a hard one.
And then I know you haven't seen a lot of Mark Harley.
I don't care to watch a lot of Mark Harley.
But if you ever watched him, you'd want to watch him talk and just go, oh my fucking God.
You know what it is?
I'm struggling to find out who's dumber, him or Schaub.
I can't look at him. There's something so weirdly off-putting with the look he has.
It's such a creepy fucking look that dude has. Big Gay Lion is a very accurate description of how he looks. Zen Rhino says, oh my God, could you imagine the Steel Toe show with Stuttering John as the second mic? What a dumpster fire of shit that would be. I'd hang up. I'd disconnect the Zoom call 20 minutes into the show. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
But they're here for you anyways, so what's the matter?
No, it's only because John's so talented. He would overshadow me. Yeah. I'd lose my show to Stuttering John Melendez. Cerberus says, here's 20 for your troubles. Got parked for the night in St. Louis. This city has some of the worst drivers in the Midwest. Come to St. Cloud. You'll see some dog shit ones, buddy. Don't you worry. Thank you very much. That puts us 115 away from that goal. So right there, like usual, as we get into the panhandling last 5 minutes, we're getting very, very close. Is this a compliment? Oh, no. I thought it was Angelica's doll starter with not gonna lie. I thought you two hated Corey when I first started listening. You had no good things to say about him, so I kind of hated him ever since because of that. Us?
I don't know when I've ever said a single bad thing about Corey.
We've had that thing with the Josh Denny deal and all that, but I mean, that was
on Twitch, wasn't it?
No, that was here. That was when Corey said the show wasn't it? Yeah.
Those two didn't do a show on our YouTube channel, so no,
not on our YouTube channel. I mean, when we had that back and forth on YouTube, when Corey said the show wasn't as good as it used to be, or that the show had fallen off a little bit after we took one of his days away. That's the day. I fucking know what show I'm referencing. So yeah, I mean, Corey and I fought over that, but I mean, well, you're new to the show, I guess too. Corey and I have fought a lot over the years. It's hard not to fight. When you're Corey and I. Willis says, Big Gay Lion overpronounces his words in order to sound smart. Strange speech pattern, like Andrew Tate. Rupert with $9.99 says, I don't know. We listen to you every day, so I don't know how many brain cells we had to start with. That's a fair point. That's very fair. 105 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys for the late rally here. We appreciate that. Johnny is my favorite, but that's just me. Hey, everybody's got their favorite. Everybody's got their favorite. That's okay. Nothing wrong with having your favorite. I mean, going out of the way to shit on another one of them, that's a different story, but
it does have to be nice to be you, because no matter what, everyone always loves you, though.
Well, if you don't, you're not listening.
Like, you really are the only reason that people tune in, though.
But if you don't, well, it makes sense, because if you don't like me, you're not watching.
The show wouldn't be here if you weren't here.
Well, that's kind of the whole deal of being the host.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't like me, you're gone. Why would you torture yourself in such a way? Gray Duckling pointing out, Adrian's my favorite.
That guy's the fucking worst.
He's on vacation. He'll be back.
How do you know?
He went out for smokes. That's all it was. Just went out for smokes. He'll be back. Jay Santos says, too bad April can't co-host all the time. Well, hey, just wait until like 2 more sponsors leave.
Didn't that guy just say Johnny was his favorite?
Well, maybe he's a rat fuck piece of shit. Who knows? Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we have a couple more sponsors drop off, and then it will be April co-hosting every show. There you go. Brad A says, Corey is another alpha. What do you mean another? We don't have one alpha. I hate alpha and beta. Actually, I love beta.
Did you just say that you're not an alpha either?
There aren't alpha, beta. We're all just guys. We're different levels of guys. There's gay guys, straight guys, cool guys, tough guys, nerdy guys, dorky guys.
We don't have one beta or one alpha.
We don't have any betas either. You just got a shitload of Rick Grimes up in this bitch. That's all it is. There's a deep cut from The Walking Dead. All right, guys, let's see if we can knock out that 105. As Gary Sinise once said in the movie Ransom, it shouldn't be a problem. Let's fire up the music and see if we can knock it out.
Where did this show go?
It was a fun 2 hours, man, and we're going to do another 30 minutes if we knock out the rest of that goal for tonight. We got Tony Michaels. We got a couple news stories to get into. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. If you guys want us to do another half hour, everybody wants to chip in a couple of bucks, we can knock out that 105 and be done with it in the next 5 minutes. Here we go. The music is playing. The train is departing the station. And we are $100 away from the goal because Cerberus decided to be even more generous and throw in an extra 5. So an even hundo away. Cerberus says, I used to live in Malacca and work in St. Cloud. I am aware of the terrible drivers there, too.
It's ugly.
Yeah. Zen Rhino says, Aaron is like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, and that's why we like him so much. Yeah, I agree.
Not good.
It's because of what a big, lovable tard that I am. Thank you very much to Johnny G with the $5 over on PayPal. We're in double digits now. $95 away from that goal. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Very much appreciated. The Recluse says, I love this Christian show. Thanks, buddy. The Real Joe says, Oz is hilarious for a stroke victim. Johnny is hilarious for a cripple.
Oh, no.
Corey is hilarious for a bunker-dwelling autist. And you two are okay. That was poetic.
Everyone's hilarious but us. That's what I got.
Fair. Loaded Wrench says, we love Aaron because of his tits, too. Oh, thanks. Ethan says, if the goal isn't reached, I heard a terrorist attack may occur. No, good God, no. We'd never say something like that.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel toes.
No. Oh, I like it. There's a t-shirt. Thank you very much to Matthew B for the $25 over on PayPal. $70 away from our goal tonight. Informal Warfare says, if 10 people give $10, I will cover the rest. I think you'll be off the hook.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, at this point, I think we would owe you money if that were the case. All right, so there we go. A couple minutes left in the offering plate segment here, the last 5 minutes. $70 left in that goal. There's the PayPal link in the chat. Super chats and memberships count as well. Razif Chaz says, April is hilarious for a girl.
He's a friend. He has to say that.
I mean, for a girl. I mean, that's a nice curve to grade on.
That was
in all
very
honesty.
nice.
2 minutes left to get inside of $50 and trigger that automatic 30 minutes of overtime where we will discover this Tony Michaels chicken nugget eating motherfucker. Sounds racist, doesn't it?
Kind of.
Chicken nugget eating motherfucker.
I feel like we've implied that any type of like chicken eating is racist now.
Sam Hyde came up with the insult chicken nugget scoon, which I rather enjoyed.
I forgot about that.
Thank you very much to Jay Santos for the $4.99. Says I wasn't counting on you when I said Johnny was my favorite co-host. So I wasn't counting you. Oh, okay. Need Trump with 20. That's going to knock our goal down to 50. So we're right there on the borderline. $50 away from our goal. $5 from Jeff. That's going to put it down to 45. And now we'll let the music run out here. But you guys are getting 30 minutes of overtime on credit, as we do have a rule where if we get inside of 50, we give you the overtime, because otherwise we look like cheap fucks. We certainly don't want to look like that.
We trust you.
So about 30 seconds left in the goal music. And then we head on to overtime. Another 50 from Matthew. Call it, guys. It's over. Thank you, Matthew. I think the rest of them we're going to get there.
Is that my Matthew that I need?
S. Yeah, Matthew, you're a VIP.
Still not talking to me.
Yeah, man. Matthew, you're a VIP, so make sure you get a hold of April.
Please.
That would be good. He says, overtime nerd.
Thank you.
Jeff says, here, take some shekels. Daniel with $35. So here, give me that. We're 35 ahead for tomorrow.
Do you have a pen?
Yeah, it's right there. I just wanted to steal yours. It's called a power move.
I'm penless.
Yeah, penless in Seattle.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, guys, thank you very much for a very generous offering plate segment. You guys are the best. Gray Duckling says, is my mug coming? Oh.
Lucky
right
mug.
There. Phage Liv says, hey, Aaron, I have not regretted joining the membership thus far, and then throws in $10. Thank you very much. You guys are 45 ahead for tomorrow night. Justin says, guys, love the show from Nashville. Becoming a member when I get home. Very, very cool.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you. I love the way this show has got some nice growth going. If you guys want to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, if you haven't done that already, thank you very much. To be very exact with you, 589 new subscribers in the last 28 days. In the last month, it's 607. 607 new subs.
That's crazy.
In the last 30 days. So thank you all very much for that. Jay says, evening show chatters, fuck. For sure. Daniel says, figured I'd get the ball rolling for the morning show. Well, we can throw that towards the morning show if you want. We'll go 15 ahead for tomorrow night and then 50 ahead for tomorrow morning. There, we'll move it that way. Perfect. All right. So we're ahead for both shows. Very cool.
Look at that. Trying to make your life easier.
Oh, what a good guy. Like I said, this audience is keeping this. I mean, when it's the audience that gives you the money to do your show and you keep hitting the goals for your show, it's the ultimate like judgment of whether or not you're doing a good job.
I know.
And when a show this size, under 10,000 subscribers, 40,000 unique viewers when you count an entire month, 40,000 different people checking in, and you can support a show like that on this audience, it means, you got to be doing something right. So anyway, let's find some of this Tony Michaels motherfucker. I want to know more about him. Tony
Carl did a couple shows on him, sounds like.
Okay. The Tony Michaels podcast, 10.3 thousand subscribers. You know what? I keep reminding myself we've only been here for 5 months.
Right. How long's he been here?
It's only been 5 months.
Maybe
Let's see.
He plateaued.
2017. So he's been doing well. Technically, if you look on our channel, it says we've been here for like 10 years. I mean, we've only been doing videos for 5 months. So let's see how long he's been doing videos. Oldest. He's been doing videos for a year.
Okay, that's not so bad then.
I don't like this. I don't like that this guy's got some, this guy got way too many views for as shitty as he is.
Too many.
Or way too many subscribers.
Maybe they're hate watching.
3,700, 5,100, 4,900, 9. Who the fuck is watching this guy? Oh, he's a politics guy. He's like a liberal politics talking guy.
Yeah, you didn't get that?
Okay. Ugh.
Which means automatically a whole mess of people like him.
Oof. So people are saying could be most of his subscribers are trolls.
That's what I'm saying.
Who are these podcasts? Tony Michaels is a child, has the drive-through stuff. Okay. Josh says this is like Red Bar for normies, only Mike decided to show Jules. You know what, Josh? I'm going to take that as a fucking compliment. I'll tell you why. Red Bar for normies is good because you know what a normie is?
I don't.
A normie is someone who doesn't live their fucking life on Reddit or Discord. Like they've got a life. They're a fully fleshed out human being. They're not overly gimmicked. They're a little more honest. They're a little more, out in the open. I like that. I actually kind of embrace being a normie. You know how I say, oh, by the way, this is becoming a big deal. Let's look into this on the show. Because I'm not spending my whole life looking at this shit and driving myself nuts. So I actually, Josh, you know what? I'm taking that as the compliment it was intended. And of course, why wouldn't I show April? She's easy to look
Hideous.
at. She's easy to look at, and she's my Frankenstein broadcast monster that I got to create out of whole cloth.
Do you know I've had some people like look down upon me actually because they say that that's the only reason you ever took somebody totally green is just so that you can just morph somebody into your thing.
Yeah.
And they totally shit on me for it.
Yeah, and?
I think it's very funny.
Josh says that wasn't a compliment. It's not a compliment to you because you see being a normie as a bad thing, and you're like locked into a weird cult kind of a thing. So you don't see it as a compliment, but me, Red Bar for normies, that's like we're a funny version of Red Bar, which we're not even that either because like we don't sit there and obsess. Like we'll do segments on a guy and then talk about the news and talk about funny stories and shit like that.
Compare us to Red Bar.
I don't think we're anything like Red Bar, but I appreciate the compliment that you gave us though. Lando says normies don't make a podcast their entire identity. Right, and I think I have an audience that's pretty... I see normie as like a well-adjusted person, well-rounded. They have many hobbies and many things to do.
Why can't we just be people? It's normie. Like I wrote down, like understand the word normie.
It's just internet lingo and it's kind of gross. Josh says, no, I'm a normie. I watch sports. I just think normies are gross. Why? Why would you hate yourself, Josh? I'm going to the Vikings game on Sunday. I'm really excited about it. We're all going. It's going to be a great time. Don't beat yourself up so bad, Josh. You let the internet put too much pressure on you. It's like, kids who get into a phase and then you watch them slowly change. You're like, boy, I hope they grow out of this quick. Don't let the internet tell you who you are, Josh, and don't let them make you ashamed of it. Jesus, man. Calm down, enjoy this show, and you'll go, hey, I find myself being a lot more chill now.
I don't spend like any amount of time on the internet but this or a little bit of show prep.
Skeezy says, I fucking hate meme speak. It's a good way to put it. Let's check out some of this Tony Michaels. Do we want to go to like the food stuff that Carl ripped on?
Kind of.
Or do we want to listen to his, I'll tell you this, political podcasts that are only politics, no comedy? They're really bad. Oh, he's got one episode called Fascist Snowflakes. The Tony Michaels podcast.
Look at his face in most of these.
Tony Michaels rant.
He just looks like a cartoon character.
Oh, this is going to be really bad.
Live morning coffee. That sounds
boy.
important.
And then he really got on a shorts kick. He liked doing a lot of oh my God, his whole channel was shorts for a while. Then about a year ago, he started getting back into his podcast, I guess. All right, let's check a little bit of this Tony Michaels out and let's see how unbearable he is. Fucking political podcasters. Here we go. Texas Paul incinerates Ron DeSantis for Hurricane Ian response. Let's watch.
The mighty favorite, Texas Paul, is joining us. Texas Paul, how are you this morning?
Oh, no, he even does like the radio, like the political news talk guy voice. This guy must have like bought a kit.
How to?
Yeah, like how to be a shitty political hack liberal podcaster.
For dummies.
For dummies. Book. And it's just, all right, first you talk in a nasally voice like you're Sam Cedar. Okay, so you do that first. And then you over-enunciate everything. And you bring on a guest who's going to totally agree with everything you say. You're going to set him up with softball statements formed as questions. And then he's just going to riff on what you said by making the same exact point, really nullifying his entire existence on this program.
How don't you have headaches from talking like that?
Short bursts.
That is incredibly painful.
Short bursts. Like, watch here. This is why I had to stop doing like politics and shit on this show, except to make fun of it. Because you talk to your co-host, and a lot of us kind of believe the same stuff. Mm-hmm. And you just bring it up, and you'd all just repeat the same things back to each other. Like, watch one of these cable news shows or watch any talk radio show. It's why I kind of appreciate that Rush Limbaugh was always kind of a gimmick. Like, he wasn't really that guy. He was putting on a character, and he didn't have guests that often. It was just Rush Limbaugh, free-flowing consciousness, saying whatever he thought would rile people up that day. But, like, guys like this, I think the perfect way to explain this new era of liberal and conservative YouTuber podcaster is guys who have worked themselves into a shoot.
Oh, yeah. He lives it now.
They don't understand that Hannity's a gimmick. It's a brand. Rush Limbaugh was a gimmick. He was a brand. Right. MSNBC is a gimmick. It's a brand. They don't walk like around all day fucking obsessing about this stuff. Chris Hayes maybe, but he's a weirdo. I mean, these guys go home and they do shit. As Josh would call them, they're normies.
This guy has a poster on his wall that says "Nugs, not drugs."
All right, let's watch Nugs, not drugs guy. Let's watch him interview Houston, Texas fleece blanket guy with the guitar he swore he's going to learn to play. Oh, wait, no, he's got a pick in it. He's definitely...
And he's got a bullhorn over here.
Oh, yeah, these liberals are badasses.
Oh, man, I am sad, brother. I am sad.
What's going on over there?
I'm sad, too. Joe Biden's president still. It's real rough, guys.
You know, it's looking more and more like South Texas. You know, when you know it, Texas is different. We're just different people here.
Thank God.
We have this sense of pride in our state that's just like no other. I mean, it is like no other. I mean, I get family members that come down.
Dude, this is a 48-minute clip. Let's hustle up here.
Gonna stick to them more than the murder charges?
Yeah, there's no way to lose this. Right. No matter what. If you fire...
All right, you know what, guys? I'm making an executive decision, and I'm going to go find that clip that... who was it?
Carl.
No, who sent it to me, though?
Oh, I don't know.
M.A. Mahalik? No, he sent me the Sean Avery stuff. Maybe it's over on Twitter.
That guy's co-host, Gabe, had a whiteboard in his backdrop that said Ron DeFascist on it.
Ew!
Get it?
Guys, all of these people who come up with that shit, they're fucking with you. They're just trying to get you on their side so that you'll buy their mugs.
These guys on the internet, though, they believe the things they're saying.
Oh,
they
boy.
just do. They live that.
I don't know. I'm trying to find... Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, Pat Dixon was on this episode of Who Are These Podcasts. Very cool.
Informal Warfare sent it.
Here we go. I can always trust Carl to bring me a holy fuck Cerberus becoming a VIP.
Oh.
Says for VIP and for you to never talk like that again.
Woo.
Thank you, Andy. Andy's the one who sent it. All credit goes to Andy. Hold on 1 second, guys. I have to do some math now.
Thank you, buddy.
250 times 0.7. So that's going to add, when you do it via YouTube, that can't be right. We only take 100 of that because of the cost of the pack.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, because we take 70% of the thing. So we got to knock $100 off the goals. Let's knock off 50 for tomorrow, and then another 50 for tomorrow night. So we're starting off in a pretty good spot. Thank you, Cerberus. Get in touch with April for your VIP package, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Union Jack says that wasn't going anywhere anyways. Josh says their faces when they get money. No, when someone becomes when someone becomes a new VIP, we're very excited. We got to ship out a bunch of merch to that guy now and a bunch of cool stuff.
It's pretty cool that somebody cares that much about the show.
Yeah, Josh.
Why wouldn't you be excited?
Why wouldn't you be really excited that someone wanted to be a VIP?
I'm hoping he just thought our faces were funny and he's not thinking like...
Well, I missed it. People were telling me, look in the chat, look in the chat, look in the chat.
We didn't have the chat up.
I like to give people credit and thank them when they're really generous. I love when people stumble onto this show and they really don't have like any chill. And it's like, dude, you're coming in and you're like fucking with the vibe here. It's like you're a little too tense for this program. So let's watch this. Oh, thank you, Andy. All right. Yes, it was you. There's all the credit. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
He's mad you dead named him now.
I can't win. This, by the way, Josh, I've seen guys like you come in here before. By tomorrow, you're gonna be a huge fan of this show. So thank you for coming aboard. Great to have you. You're gonna be very excited, and you're gonna love what you hear. All right, who are these podcasts making fun of Tony Michaels? Now, I have to admit, this is the first I've ever seen Tony Michaels. I discovered him tonight for myself on the Stuttering John show. I'm glad that Carl's covered this guy because if I had to watch this guy myself, I'd never find anything to make fun of. He bores you to death. So I guess Carl went after. Now that fucking jingle's going to be in my head all night long.
This guy, Tony Michaels, he used to do these really funny, fantastic videos. And this one he does is called Chicky McNugs.
Oh,
and I thought it's a short one.
This is already going to be really bad.
The guy has a poster on his wall.
It's never good to have a video called Chicky McNugs.
I thought we could play that together. Pat, you can see the video.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh, he looks like
All
Opie.
right, check this
Right,
out.
that is
this
Opie.
is Chicky McNugs from
Definitely
Tony
Opie.
Michaels.
Wait, that... Oh, okay. Oh, no. Shorts.
You're just seeing his legs
and a
in
low
jean
video
shorts.
angle.
And I see kids.
you little son of bitches, get out of my yard! Get out of my yard! Get the hell out of my yard, damn it! Get out of my yard!
This can't be real.
What
This
the
has to go.
fuck?
Stop it.
There's nothing more embarrassing than someone who comes up with a comedic concept that's fucked from the beginning, and they lean in and give it everything they've got, and then on top of that, put on a costume.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Oh, boy. And now you're saying that after Carl made fun of these, that this Josh Michaels guy, or this Tony Michaels, took all this shit down? That's the funniest part.
Bastards! Have to tell them every damn time. Ridiculous. I'm gonna call the damn yard dog catcher. Oh, shit. I locked myself out of the house.
I'm uncomfortable.
I finally
with this
found
man.
a clip so fucking terrible that I can't make fun of
I
it.
know. It's doing it itself, okay?
There's no commentary I can add to this. I'm actually excited to see how Carl and Pat Dixon and Chris actually spun this, because there's nothing to say about this other than watch it.
Thank God. I am patiently waiting for Carl to get talking about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that was the whole video. It's 37 seconds. For some reason, this Chicky McNugs is pointing a camera directly into his face, almost touching his face, while yelling at the kids who are playing in his yard.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite sure how that works.
Novelty Elvis glasses.
Yeah, and the fake mustache. Hilarious.
He's in disguise.
The title of this is Make Me Laugh Videos, and then all caps, my neighbor is an a-hole, and then Crazy Redneck Chicky McNug. I think he wanted this to be a character, like an ongoing.
So Chicky McNug was going to be a character. I will say this, Tony, I keep having to look at your notes to remember his name.
Tony Michaels.
This Tony Michaels guy, I will say the one pivot he's made in his career that's been positive, he realized comedy was not working, and he did go to the podcast thing. And a lot of failed comedians do that. When you can't do stand-up, you go into politics. Crowder's a great example of that. He's not a very funny guy, but if you can make boomers laugh at, like, you know, Let's Go Brandon stuff, you can sell a lot of mugs and have a career. Good for him.
Character that he was developing. Yeah. And the best is, I'm reading the comments underneath it from 4 years ago when he posted that. This MK786 wrote, I love this vid. It's so funny, with like a tongue out emoji.
All right, I need to see. I need to see more Chicky McNugs.
Oh,
boy!
God.
Oh, we got a fat boy in a car. That means he's going to eat some food, isn't it?
Man.
It's about 1:30. It's lunchtime.
What is it not lunchtime for this guy?
By the way, does that sound anything like the, hey, do you know Anthony Cumia? Like that guy who's on the broadcasts and the podcasts and the Stuttering John show?
Different guy, but here we're about to pull out the trough. It's lunchtime.
Also, I want to point this out because this like happy-go-lucky, fun Tony Michaels character, and then he's got those other videos where he's like, you know, he wears the hat that says "fuck him," and he's like, fuck you, Trump, fuck. He's like all like tough guy. It's like, well, which one are you? Because I'm not buying the tough guy. I think this is more him.
This guy's hungry. He's about to get lunch. You know how he knows it's lunchtime is that homespun music always starts playing.
It's the worst. The post-production on this is maybe the most enraging part about it, which is saying something, because all of it is enraging.
Pulling in to my old hometown.
Sounds nothing like him.
We are going to go to a place that you're going to love. So I'll see you there.
He's actually talking in like a deep, bassy chest voice now. But when he's on Stuttering John and his podcast, all right, we're going to talk to Texas Paul, and we're going to find out about what's going on with the...
Why did that ever start? Why did people think that just not talking in your normal voice was better?
I have no idea. I don't know how it got
Someone
started.
somewhere started the puke voice.
Well, that used to be like the in-demand voice in like the 70s and 80s. It used to be like in the 60s, it used to be just like the high energy, like, hey, everybody, we're going to be rocking and rolling to the blah, 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 blah. Then somehow that morphed into the, hey, everybody, we got to, because they wanted you to talk from your diaphragm and be professional, but they still wanted you to give that energy. They wanted you to purposely not be conversational, which I always hated. I always liked, look, speak clearly, you're broadcasting. You don't want to sound like Brendan Schaub. I get that, talk in your voice, but, be conversational, like you're talking to people.
Yeah, this is so much more conversational. Like I couldn't stand the thought of listening to a puke voice.
But in the
podcast.
70s and 80s, man, that was the thing. It was, hey, everybody, it's going to be 72 degrees today. And coming up, we got a 3-pack of Metallica coming your way. And then tickets to the Tool concert this weekend at Braves Stadium. That they wanted that. If you didn't talk like that, you weren't going to move up.
It's hurting my soul.
How am I going to love it? What about it am I going to love? I'm not eating the food. I'm not experiencing the drive. What are you talking about?
He deleted these videos after Carl lightly shit on him.
Anticipation built.
So now he's driving through Eldon, Missouri.
Looks like a rager.
Yeah, tell you what, this video's a party.
Christ.
What is that?
What the fuck?
All right, guys, here we are.
You think he could have added some of those parts out? Do you think he needed all those scenes to show that he was driving into a park? I feel like I'm there.
Try to skip through as much of the commentary.
We're at the Creamy. It's a hot dog stand.
Ew.
And I think I'm going to get a hot dog. Oh, yeah.
This is part of his fault.
This is fucking trash.
This is so
Should we
gross.
fast forward to the part where he gets the hot dog?
Yes.
I want to watch him. I want to watch Big Boy eat hot dog.
Chili cheese free.
Oh, the barbecue sandwich. That comes with 2 sides. All right, I'll have 2 more barbecue sandwiches on the side, please. No, what we meant was like mashed potatoes or.
Does he ever get
Macaroni
it?
and cheese, some shit like that.
Yeah, like a side dish. Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Yeah, side of hot dog.
With a side of hot dog. Whew, man.
Chili dog with a side of hot dog.
I feel so great about my decision.
You shouldn't. You should feel awful about all of these decisions. A, doing this.
Not child porn.
Do you think he finished his meal? Pat, what do you
Dude, he doesn't show it once.
I want to hear him.
Yeah,
He's not
this
showing
guy
the
can't
hot
even
dog.
eat 2 cheese dogs.
When they give you one of these to eat your food, you know it's going to be delicious.
A plastic fork?
When they give you one of these to eat your food, you know it's going to be delicious.
Said the homeless man.
All right, guys. Thanks for riding along with me
That was
again
it?
today. I
There
appreciate
was no
you
hot dog.
riding with me in the drive-thru. Until next time, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter, The Tony Michaels. And also check me out on Facebook. Drive in, drive out, drive through.
Oh my God.
I just winced.
This guy is now trying to pass himself off as like a serious
Do you want him on the show?
political guy. Yes, I want Tony Michaels on this show. I want to talk to him about liberal politics and all that stuff. And then
I think it'd be funny if you just brought up his food eating habits.
after that, I just want
Vlogs.
I want nothing more to do with him ever again. Josh says, a cult. What are you talking about? Is this show a cult? No. We're not Red Bar. Remember? Try to keep up, pal. Ew, drive in, drive out, drive through. And now, like, this is like finding out Tucker Carlson was Barney at one point. Like, that's like finding out that this guy just did some kind of whole personality transplant. And he went from, oh, I want to be a wacky food reviewing, hot dog eating, dine-ins, drivers, and dives on YouTube.
He's got multiple personalities.
Yeah, into like, let me tell you why Ron DeSantis is a fascist and needs to be brought down immediately. And now, like, if the liberal talk show host thing doesn't work out, he'll go and he'll, like, I don't know, try to do like an Impractical Jokers. He'll try to be the fourth try guy.
Oh.
At least you don't have to worry about him getting pussy and wrecking your company.
God, the only thing about Impractical Jokers that they have on them is they're all married to women.
Yeah. I mean, and whether or not it's legit, I don't know. That's not the point. Rain says, very shit. I hope Tony Michaels gets even bigger in size. I don't think he means on YouTube either.
No.
Principled Uncertainty says, I was told this was a cult. I want a refund. Just
It could be
give
for the right price.
Give poor Josh some time. He's one of these guys. Some of you started out like Josh. Some of you started out like him, where you came to the show and you're like, I don't get this. It's stupid. I hate it. What do you guys ask for money? Yes, we do. And then once you give them the yes, we do, they go, oh. And then they have to decide, are we going to stick around and be entertained, or are we going to leave? Josh has I'm going to stick around written all over him.
I think it's as simple as this. Like, imagine if your boss did not get you your paycheck after you've done all the work. I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're us, you're asking. You're not even, like, signing a contract.
We're not expecting.
Yeah,
we're just asking.
Hey, what do you say?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for all of that. We got about 5 minutes left here. We've got 2 more stories left. I think we can get to one.
Okay.
This is a women's empowerment story, believe it or not, coming from me, that I actually am down with.
That's a tall order, because even I'm like annoyed with all like the women's and
April doesn't believe in women. It's one of her good qualities.
Not even that. I just hate that it's suddenly like, oh, we've got to be better than men at everything.
So we have this high school that's voting on whether or not they should have girls wrestling. And I'll tell you, I think they absolutely should, because I get sick and tired of watching these like news stories where the school goes, oh, yes, and this girl won at the state tournament. It's like, yeah, because all the guys refuse to wrestle her because they're like, no, this is fucking weird. I'm not wrestling a high school-aged girl with a vagina and tits and everything. Yeah, no thanks.
There's a lot of weird gray areas there. Plus, then you got like this girl's like exceeding in football and stuff. And it's because nobody wants to tackle a girl.
Right, nobody wants to hit the girl. And it's not because, they think girls are less than or they're sexist. No, it's because they know what they're capable of and they don't want to hurt the girl.
It's uncomfortable.
Right.
It's a weird position.
You understand that like a football player in high school trying his hardest in tackling a girl football player in high school is the equivalent to a normal high school kid tackling a teacher with osteoporosis. Mm-hmm. Like it's the same level of impact. So they don't want to do that. Now, the only drawback about this girls wrestling concept is it's just a countdown to when the first boy declares to be a woman and then just starts fucking up all these girls in wrestling.
That really is the fucked part.
Well, there are 36 states in the U.S. that have sanctioned women's high school wrestling, leaving 14 states, including Louisiana, to have girls wrestling unsanctioned. One Bossier Parish student.
I like that. I like back alley, like just back alley abortions, back alley wrestling matches for girls. They got to go out back of the concourse buildings and they got to put down some cardboard and have a fucking, catch as catch can match. I like that. You got hobos throwing ones out, betting on them.
I don't know how I feel about all that.
The only difference should be if you have girls wrestling, you're going to have it in the big gym because all the horny high school boys are going to be buying tickets to the girls wrestling meets. And they're going to be bringing like Jell-O and other things like, do you guys need our help? Inflatable pools. And they'll be like, we could have it in one of these if you want to.
Except, do you picture all the women's wrestlers to be the hot ones?
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of them are going to be named Becky.
A lot of Beckys.
A lot of Beckys and Rachels.
Rachel is...
Fat girl's name.
Maybe. Okay.
Trying to break the barriers to get her sport recognized. KTBS 3's Chloe Abbott has more on the students' mission and what it could mean to get girls wrestling sanctioned.
Thanks for dressing up and doing your hair for the news. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I know, this is just a frumpy looking bra.
I put more effort into my hair tonight for a YouTube show, not to diminish what we're doing.
She just kind of pulled a ponytail out of her hair and went, all right, ready to do the news. Here we go. Let me throw on a shirt that kind of fits.
That looks like my hair after I pull my hat off from hunting, like where it's like helmeted down to my head, That's her right now.
I'm going to feel like a dick if she's like pregnant or something.
She's not. You can see her stomach.
Well,
That doesn't matter.
Maybe she's
People still do their hair when they're pregnant.
Maybe she's still deciding if she should abort it.
There's
or
a
not.
nice lady on Fox 9 who's very pregnant right now, and she looks very pretty. Always.
For a pregnant chick.
Important thing. Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning, Nate. Natalie Davis is a sophomore at Hunt.
Okay, I'm convinced this is like like a high school internship program where they're letting them do the news.
She already looks like somebody stole her soul at some point. Like she's just Needs a hug from dad or something.
She's on the varsity wrestling team and is in the 113 to 120 pound weight division.
I'd fuck
Natalie
her up.
is an accomplished wrestler. She is a USA female state and national champion for the Adidas Nationals. She's done jiu-jitsu for 9.5 years before she started wrestling.
Oh, fuck. Those girls can actually go. That one was about to snap her arm off.
Well, yeah, I don't think that they can't do it. You've
Fuck.
seen women's MMA and shit.
She recently returned from Washington, D.C. to speak with congressmen from Louisiana to encourage them to pressure the LHSAA to sanction girls wrestling. Without that title, high school girls can't have women's wrestling programs. When girls compete, they have to wrestle on the boys' team. They don't get their own state tournament, and their achievements are listed as JV.
Oh, that fucking
fucked
sucks.
up.
That is fucked up.
I don't
See what I
like
mean?
that.
'Cause
Either
it sucks.
let them wrestle or don't. I don't know.
It sucks for the girls and the guys.
Yeah, duh.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you wrestle against the boys, they're not going to take it seriously. So any accomplishment you have, it's going to be there's going to be an asterisk next to it.
Oh, you beat a girl?
And
oh, good one.
yeah, and not only that, did you hear what they said? If the girl wins, it's listed as junior varsity.
Yep.
So you're fucked either way.
You can never let her in it.
The only thing that sucks is, like I said, when they do finally let them have an all-girls wrestling, it's just a countdown till they have one of these fucking trans controversies. They already have that problem with, I think in Texas, they had was it a girl
I know, it's hard to keep
transition,
up. You
or
never
was
know.
I can't remember who transitioned, but
That's
like people
fine.
were refusing to wrestle them.
And you know what? I hate that that's not fine. Like, I hate that it's not okay to be uncomfortable with something. It's like people aren't going to throw a fit when someone says they don't want to wrestle a normal girl.
Right.
It's so stupid. Like, it's just not okay to be uncomfortable with anything trans related.
Matthew Jenkins informing us that Tony Michaels guy, you never see him eat. That means somebody's self-conscious. That means somebody doesn't want you seeing him eating.
Cowpote's got an edge on him.
Yeah, Cowpote will eat in his
Cowpote will
videos.
fucking eat his Whoppers in front of you.
He'll eat like a fucking hog at a trough. Cowpote will have mayonnaise and lettuce all over his mouth.
He's kind of endearing. I know him and I have had our,
Yeah.
our past or whatever, but he's kind of funny now.
For sure. I want to thank, as we're running out of time here, I want to thank Cerberus, our new VIP. We appreciate that,
you.
buddy. And I want to thank Josh Northrup for becoming the newest fan of the
Biggest fan.
Steel Toe Show. I appreciate that, buddy. Don't miss the 6 a.m. Central morning show that's going to kick off tomorrow morning. You're going to enjoy it.
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.
To the fans of the show, thank you very much. We are, $65 ahead for tomorrow evening and $100 ahead for tomorrow's goal.
You guys are killing it.
Unbelievable. You guys are an amazingly supportive audience.
I'm blushing.
Josh is very happy to be a new fan of this
Yeah.
show. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning.